this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns and those who dig. Broadcasting from a Montana wilderness fortress at the headwaters of the Missouri, this is Matt Christiansen Live.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is Matt Christiansen Live, a proud duct tape production for Sunday, December 28th, 2025. Final stream of the year. Happy New Year. Thank you for tuning in. Sitting shotgun tonight is our friend Mark Aaron. He is Canadian, but we do allow it. Welcome back.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Thank you.
Follow Mark on X at Liberty M. Aaron, linked in the description, or don't, because I checked before we were live when I put the link in there. You're banned.
Yeah.
What happened?
No idea. Just gone.
You didn't get a notice for why?
Nothing.
When did it happen?
Last week.
And are you planning to appeal?
Oh, several appeals have been sent. Nothing. It's gone.
Usually, like the new X, they'll tell you what your offense was, at least.
You'd think I'd get something. No, just literally, you are banned forever. No, nothing. I even got a response to my appeal. It was like, no, you're banned.
Huh.
Like, it was for inauthentic behavior.
Are you impersonating the real Mark?
I guess I'm a bot.
Oh, okay.
Other people say, I guess I am a Russian bot. So.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't know that I had influenced you in that way.
Yeah, well, yeah. Moving on up.
Will there be a new account, or are you just done?
I set up a new one called Mark Aaron is back. But it's just so discouraging to start from scratch, and it's like,
well, if you want to link it,
won't even show me. It won't even show me my old followers or following from the previous account. Like literally, it's just zero, nothing, everything gone. That's years of blood and sweat and tears.
Somebody, let's get a at Elon Musk spam campaign going. And
I would appreciate it.
Strange.
I would love to have it back. I really liked my Twitter.
I thought this era was over, but I guess not.
I think Twitter. Elon watches the show and he's very offended that I refuse to call it X.
Okay. Well, maybe that's it. Anyway, no guest tonight, just what I hope will be a cozy holiday show to wrap up the year. In fact, I hope it will just be a complete show after last Sunday's debacle. But if you tuned in Tuesday before Christmas, I think I got the tech problems sorted out. We'll see if the duct tape holds tonight. But in the news for discussion, Trump strikes ISIS in Nigeria to stop attacks on Christians. Independent journalist Nick Shirley visits some state-funded alleged Somali daycare centers in Minneapolis, finds that they are not, in fact, real daycare centers, or they don't appear to be. But they have received millions of dollars in state funding. At this point, I'm the Somali fraud, not that I'm discrediting the good work of Nick Shirley, but it is so predictable that I want someone to do the hard work of finding a legitimate Somali business in Minneapolis. And honest, please, that's the expose I want.
Yeah, a real leering center.
We'll check in on the leering center. It's like Elon Musk tweeted that too. It's the obvious Zoolander jokes, like it's the Derek
ants.
Zenner.
That's why it's a center for ants.
Yeah, the Center for Ants and the Derek Zoolander Center for Kids Who Can't, in this case, leer good. They need help with their leering. We'll talk the Stranger Things finale. Yes, speaking of predictable, Netflix gays everything, so I'm not going to pretend to be shocked that they gayed Stranger Things, since they already basically did gay Stranger Things for several seasons now. But man, have they outdone themselves this time with this Will Byers coming out scene in Stranger Things. Hey, we have to put the apocalypse on hold because I have to tell everyone, including people I've basically never interacted with on the show, that I'm gay. And thankfully, as I browsed X, and as Mark was able to send me a few examples of too, even though he's banned, AI and some other various edits have fixed the ending to Stranger Things in many ways. We'll check in on some of the best alternate endings as the show comes to a close on New Year's Day. Are you going to tune into the finale, or I feel like it's a self-disrespect for me to tune into the finale now?
Now I don't know. I still haven't watched these latest 2 episodes. We were going to do it on Christmas Day. You know, that's when they.
Oh, so you haven't even seen? Have you seen? You've seen the moment,
no.
Or you have not? Okay.
I've seen the moment. Yeah, I've been spoiled, but no, I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was one of the, other than season 3, which was, you know, and the forgivable, normal Netflix-ish is stuff. But yeah, I really liked Stranger Things, and I was hoping that they wouldn't Game of Thrones the final season, and I seem to be misguided in those hopes.
Well, yeah, Game of Thrones was ruined for different reasons, but I remember I made my then girlfriend, now wife, watch all of Game of Thrones before the 5th. Was it the 5th season? Whatever the final season was of. No, it's way more than 5, wasn't it? Yeah. It's 5th season of Stranger Things. But I made her watch all of Game of Thrones because the finale season was coming out. And I remember watching those. Okay, that was clearly set up, but like next week they're really gonna get it. Okay, all right. So like half of it has been set up so far, but they're really
they'll get it right. They're just saving all the good stuff for an episode. I had refused to watch the final season until like 6 months ago. I was just bored, and I was like, it can't be as bad as they say it is. And so I watched it.
Yeah,
and it's worse. It was just. You can't describe how phenomenally bad that season is.
At least it wasn't that gay, though.
I was like, what? Yeah, they didn't gay it. They just
made it boring somehow.
Retarded, not gay. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when Stranger Things came out in what was that 2016 or so, and I always loved the 80s aesthetic, and I was immediately caught up in the vibe of that show because I just love that theme, that 80s horror slasher movie type thing, even though it's not really a slasher, I guess, kind of a slasher. Anyway, and I remember once that finished, I thought that first season is one of the best pieces of TV I've ever seen. And then Will coughs up the slug thing or whatever, and you're like, okay, so they're gonna ruin it. Like they couldn't just leave it as well. Of course, they're gonna ruin it. They're gonna milk this cash cow, and so it was all foreseeable. But back then, I was too naive to see the ending as gay as it became. I did not see that coming at least 10 years ago.
But
I didn't.
But other than that, are the episodes any good? Because I was really frustrated just with the they just like band-aided over the rip in the universe. Like the town, they're like, yeah, whatever.
Let's save it for later in the show because a lot of people are like, I don't care about Stranger Things, and you're an idiot for being surprised by the homosexual content. In fact, you're a degenerate for watching Netflix at all. You're right. You're absolutely right. So I'll spare you that. We'll get into that later in the show. We'll catch up with your super chats as well, including never mind. I don't know. Sorry. Let me get rid of. Speaking of duct tape, what the hell's going on,
Matt? Play the thing.
Duct tape all over the place. It's a disgrace.
3, 2, 1. We'll catch up with your super chats as well. Appreciate those of you who support the show. Thank you for that. But before we get into it, we have to say hello to our featured listener-owned business for the evening. That is our friends at Hero Soap Company. Is your New Year's resolution to smell better? Or to buy American, or to use all natural products instead of artificial nonsense, or maybe to support military and first responder charities? If so, check out Hero Soap Company. You get a high-quality, all-natural, made-in-the-USA product. A portion of the proceeds benefit veterans' causes. And when you subscribe, Hero Soap will send soap straight to your door each month, so you never have to remember soap at the store again. Of course, you can get my signature soaps, Timberline and Old West, and Hero still has some returning classics available for the holidays while supplies last. Lemongrass is calming and lemony sweet. Spearmint is fresh and cool, just like the chewing gum. And it's not just soap either. Hero offers shampoo and conditioner as well. 10% off all of it using promo code MCListener. 10% off everything from our friends at Hero Soap Company using promo code MCListener, herosoapcompany.com. Find all the information at mattchristiansenmedia.com/deals. Deals by listeners for listeners. Quick reminder on the holiday show schedule before we get into it. There will be no Wednesday show this week because, of course, it's New Year's Eve. Hope you have a great New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. These Zoom and these stupid... Okay,
Is that me?
this was another...
I didn't do that.
This was another thing that screwed up the show technologically. That was Wednesday. Batman did something, and because he gestured like that, Zoom interprets it as a command, and he had raised his hand.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah, like the fact that you did a thumbs up.
Apparently, vaping is awesome.
Is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah, I vaped, and then it went boop.
I saw the vape pen as a thumb. Anyway, hope you have a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day with your families and your friends. We'll be back on January 7th with the Wednesday show, the Sunday show next weekend, January 4th. That will be live as usual, 9 Eastern. As far as my short videos, I plan for those to resume on January 7th as well. This week I have some off-camera tasks around the old duct tape studio here that need some attention, plus some holiday time with family as well. So, to recap, there will be a Sunday stream next Sunday, January 4th. Everything will be back on regular schedule January 7th. As always, if you're looking for the show or you're looking for my content, you can't find it, mattchristiansenmedia.com. Right there on the homepage, we'll have all the latest information for you. But getting into the news, Mark, I regret to report that there apparently has been another case, or potentially another case. Listener Joshua informs me that... we might have another episode of a fatal illegal immigrant truck crash, this time in Virginia. It's not, the truck crash was fatal. That's not the might part. The might part is I'm not sure about the immigration status of this individual, but this report comes from Roanoke County, Virginia. Here is the report from Tuesday.
A tractor-trailer driver was charged in a crash that killed 3 people, including a toddler. Virginia State Police say troopers responded to a 2-vehicle crash on I-81 near the city of Roanoke. VSP says the driver of the tractor-trailer was headed north when he ran off the right side of the road and hit a Honda Odyssey, stopped on the shoulder, and killed the 65-year-old driver, Lorraine Renee Williams, 49-year-old Ebony Latasha Williams, and 2-year-old Shazaya Leslie. 58-year-old El Hadaj Karamoko Katara was charged with reckless driving.
That's not his name, though. It's not El Hadaj. It's El Haji. So I guess he's one of those rare Hispanic jihadis.
The name, is it? Okay, I was trying to figure out if he was maybe brewing curry with his bare feet and we glean some type of ethnic knowledge.
So
what's the name again?
El Haji Karamoko. That sounds okay. That sounds
There's
Hispanic,
so many things.
Arab, and Japanese at the same time.
Fine, I just hate all of them.
He's Tiger Woods. He's all of the races. This guy. But the
driving skills. That was a golf joke.
The as far as the potential illegal immigrant, I haven't seen any confirmation to say what his citizenship or immigration status is. I'm being ultra racist and going strictly by his name. His name sounds illegal to me, so good enough to report. Probably
this is actually El Hajj illegal.
Yeah,
you didn't pronounce it right.
Watch out for El Haji.
Deport me. Yeah, I shouldn't be here illegal.
Well, and again, the jokes unfortunately write themselves, but this is yet another terrible incident of, if it's what it appears to be, a guy of questionable qualifications driving a big rig, killing people, including a toddler in this case, a 2-year-old. But he killed 3 people whatever he was doing was sufficient for police to charge him with reckless driving.
Yeah, was
so
it
sufficient
reckless or negligent driving?
This says reckless. This report. Okay. So
that's pretty remarkable in a big.
It
rig.
had to be feet in the curry tub, something like that.
No, he was doing donuts on the freeway.
I don't know exactly what he was doing. report says more charges possible, investigation ongoing. But very unfortunate. And as always, be safe on the roads out there over the holiday season and throughout the rest of the year, because it is getting crazy. But
no, it is nuts. Because normally, I mean, I live in Canada. Everything's a 10-hour drive, and normally, or at least back 20 years ago, you would see a semi truck and you'd feel better, especially in a snowstorm at night. You know, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to follow this guy at a safe distance, and I'll get through this 10 hours of treacherous driving. Now I avoid them. Like, you're like, okay, I don't need someone to just drive right into me or push me off the road. And it's crazy that in such a short amount of time, the respect that they had as a class of driver is just completely gone. And now they're terrifying. Yeah,
a general good practice to give trucks plenty of room in general. But I don't do a lot of highway driving these days. But when I do, I'm careful. You know, I mean, I just give me as much space from that as I can possibly get. But depending on traffic, you might not have that luxury. You might end up pinned up against one of these, and I don't know. And that's well.
Yeah, or you could be like, this guy was parked on the side of the road and he hit him.
I don't know what the circumstances were. There was a case of that. The latest one we talked about was in Oregon, and the guy appears to have slipped in a snowy highway. Maybe he didn't have the proper snow equipment or not, but his truck was completely blocking the highway, and he didn't put out the emergency equipment to notify oncoming drivers that the highway's blocked, and people just crashed into it and splattered. So yeah, there's that too. But ICE is hard at work trying to save you from the same fate. Operation Highway Sentinel is underway in California. They've arrested over 100 illegal immigrant truck drivers in the last few days or the last week or so. Now, recall, not only does California have a lot of these illegal immigrant truck drivers, but they are also one of the primary offending states in issuing the licenses, which then allow a lot of these drivers, these illegal immigrant drivers, to drive across the country. For example, the guy who did that illegal U-turn in Florida and all the Haitians crashed into it, he was licensed in California and also sought a license in Washington state. So ICE is responding by going after truck drivers. We'll see if that has any... if that does anything to resolve the matter.
At least they're doing something slowly. I wish it was,
You know who's mad about it though?
10,000.
The guys who are doing
Tim Walz.
Well, he's probably mad about it too. More on him later. But the guys who are doing their curry feet soaking while driving, they're pretty upset about it, and they filed a lawsuit. The a group of not.
How dare you stop us from illegally driving?
Pretty much.
It's group our constitutional right as illegal immigrants.
Well, it's apparently a statutory right, because these non-citizens who are licensed in California, they're suing the California DMV, accusing the agency of planning to unlawfully cancel some 20,000 commercial driver's licenses. So California has faced federal pressure to stop issuing these commercial driver's licenses to non-citizen immigrants, including illegal immigrants, because of all the episodes that we've seen. Mm-hmm. And so these immigrant drivers in California say that the state is unlawfully denying them the opportunity to correct errors on their applications and maintain their licenses. So I guess their contention is that their licenses aren't necessarily illegitimately or illegally issued. It's that there are errors in the application, and they should be given the benefit of some sort of process under the law to correct the errors and maintain their licenses. But I will note that the people who have suffered fatal consequences for the errors in these apparent commercial driver's license applications do not get the same benefit of correcting anything, because unfortunately they are dead.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that doesn't, what's the error? I thought they were not supposed to get the license because they shouldn't be here.
I think they're
like,
saying...
wait, I was supposed to write, I should be here on the application. No, I'm not illegal.
That's what they're saying, that like their immigration status is somehow in error on the application, and that's why they're being unlawfully targeted, I think, is the case that they're making.
Right. Yeah, no, it sounds like either a stalling. It's so frustrating, because it's the same thing with the Minnesota thing that we'll get into. It's just what people don't realize with the culture of these people, it's not like they'll find out what they're doing isn't right and then stop. They're just going to try whatever works, and they're just going to be like, well, what about this bullshit excuse to keep doing what we're doing? And then we don't grasp the like, oh, maybe they're telling the truth this time. Yeah. No.
Yeah. The assumption that a lot of this illegal, fraudulent activity is due to honest mistake is, if you still believe that, I don't know what you're watching.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I saw. There's a clip. It's on YouTube or Twitter, and it was a woman got a scam call, and it was like, "Give me your credit card information," from someone with an Indian accent.
Yeah, and
so she pretended that she was in a terrible car crash, and she's like, "Oh, I'm dying on the side of the road." The woman's like, "It's okay, just give me the credit card." Like, no, but I'm really dying.
Speaking of those phone scams, maybe
what's the numbers?
We'll talk about the Nigerian bombing in a minute. Maybe they got those Nigerian scam call centers, though. I'm a little bit skeptical about some of our ongoing military activity around the globe. But if I get less calls from Nigerian princes who have a fortune in my family's name and they just need my social security number to get me the money, then I'm in favor of Tomahawk missiles to Nigeria.
Let's get to it.
Did you see the new New York City Fire Department commissioner?
Unfortunately,
you did. Okay.
What are they gonna?
Incoming
like zero lessons learned. That's what I'm taking from this. Like
people have to die in fires to learn this lesson. Yeah.
Apparently not. Apparently that's not enough. No, we need the whole country has to burn down. At least New York doesn't have a massive wildfire problem that I'm aware of.
Not yet, but my sources say coming in 2026 they will. Yeah, they're going to borrow
the forests just to have the fires.
I'm surprised this woman isn't hired from California for that reason. She oversaw the LA wildfires and is now ready to manage New York. But incoming communist mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani, he's announcing his picks for various offices. Of course, he's set to take office. What is it, in like a week or something? Very shortly. Among them, he has historically chosen the first lesbian, the first openly gay New York City Fire Department commissioner. No, it's not
in New York, because it wasn't that the exact situation in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think they had a bunch of lesbian firefighters. You're right. I forgot about that angle on that story. There was the one who said, "Hey, if you're in a building and you need to be carried out of it because of a fire, you're probably in the wrong building."
Yeah, you shouldn't have. Lit that fire and been in that building. Yeah.
Now, notably, this woman has no firefighting experience, but she is flaming gay. At least if lesbians count as flaming. I don't know if they do, but here she is.
Lillian Bonsignor is a career first responder. In just 9 days, she'll be running the world's busiest fire department, one of the most important appointments of the incoming administration.
And they deserve a leader who cares about their work because she did it herself, who understands every detail, and who will fight tirelessly to empower FDNY and make it the best firefighting force in the world.
Lillian Bonsignor began her career as an EMT in 1991 and was ultimately promoted to chief of the city's EMS division, where she served for 3 years before retiring in 2022. Although she never served as a firefighter, she's confident that won't matter.
I know the job. I know what the firefighters need, and I can translate that to this administration who's willing to listen. I know what EMS needs. I have been EMS for 30 plus years.
Bonsignor is a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community, who will serve as the FDNY's first openly gay commissioner. She's a highly respected, detail-oriented manager whose style has been compared to NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, who will remain in her post in the new administration.
She sounds hideous.
Okay, I mean, if she was, so she has been an emergency responder for many years, just to give the devil his due.
Yes.
It's not like she's completely coming in, but obviously there's arguments on both sides. You'd think the most important qualification in a position of authority would be experience in that field, but it's similar-ish, and it's basically a political position, right? I mean, is she directly involved in firefighting? I don't really think so.
No, she's not carrying you out of the building. And and in New York City, the EMS, that whole program is under the fire department management. So not only are they related, they're the same department, in fact. But
if she's like a shitty political manager position, it's like you can just swap that over to a different shitty political manager type position and still suck.
Is this a person who was selected for qualifications, or is this a person who was selected because she is a lesbian? I think
we'll never know.
So, I mean, All right. I suspect that if you want someone to lead firefighters, you might have other candidates who have more firefighting experience if the lesbianism is truly irrelevant. The good news is she won't be on the job long because my sources say that the gang in Hawkins has recruited her to combine forces with Will Byers to make the most unstoppably gay force possible.
Wait, don't spoil Stranger Things, Matt.
Oh, sorry. Everybody knows he's gay, and that's not a secret.
That's the funniest thing. That's the weirdest thing. Like, we knew in season 2, like, they didn't hide the sideways glances, you know, like we were all pretty aware. And I'm most ashamed of is I'd actually predicted this in the first episode of this season. I was like, they're gonna make gay his superpower.
That's what literally. Vecna harnesses the power of homophobia, and Will harnesses the power of
shooting rainbow flags out of his fingers.
Now, one last note on this: the commissioner of the fire department in New York City needs replacement because the guy who was on the job resigned the day after Mamdani won the election. So, okay, we'll see how this change in leadership goes. But you know, if you have any worries about women in law enforcement, women in emergency response situations or leadership positions, don't worry anymore. Just look to how it's going in Seattle this week. Or do worry. In Seattle, a criminal just walked up to a female state trooper's cruiser in traffic, ripped her out of the car, and drove away. And it was in the middle of the day, in plain view, all captured on camera. This was on Christmas Day, and of course the musical accompaniment is added for effect.
Okay, this is...
Oh no, he locked the door. I can't get in. Let me get my gun. I don't know if she got it out of the holster. Now, I will say it's not that it didn't go as poorly as it could have. When she reached her right hand to her hip there, she did not, in fact, accidentally grab her Glock when she meant to grab her taser and shoot a guy dead. So all things considered, it went okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing that she didn't kill anybody. So
and
that's a win. That's a win, right?
Well, there was a high-speed chase for some 10 miles after this. This guy fled down I-5 southbound, and eventually they got him. But it was 10 miles later. Who knows if he doesn't hit somebody or crash into a family, kill them, that sort of thing. So they have not identified who the state trooper is. They've not, as far as I've seen, identified who the suspect is or what his motives were for carjacking a state trooper just sitting there. But that's what happened.
Just being awesome.
Yeah. You know, you got to be careful in Washington, especially like if the stolen chick cop car doesn't run you over, there's an Indian truck driver with a new license right behind that guy who will probably hit you. So in Washington, especially, be careful out there. But anything else about Seattle you want to discuss before we talk Nigeria?
I just want to pretend it doesn't exist.
Well, Washington might as well not at this point. But on Christmas Day, Trump launched a series of strikes on ISIS targets in northwestern Nigeria. Trump said on Truth Social, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years or even centuries. The strike included over a dozen Tomahawk missiles launched from a Navy ship in the Gulf of Guinea. That's on the western coast of Africa there. 2 ISIS camps were hit. The strikes, there were multiple. They were done in coordination with the Nigerian government and the military in Nigeria. So this is against, non-state actors of ISIS organizations, not against the Nigerian government or the Nigerian military. They're trying to stop a lot of these Islamic attacks. The military says multiple ISIS terrorists were killed, didn't specify how many. Trump says he's doing this to protect Christians from these ISIS or Islamic attacks. Nigerian government, even though they're in favor of taking out these ISIS forces and they are trying to stop those sorts of attacks, they reject claims of targeting Christians, or at least they say there's not a Christian genocide. They say that Muslims and Christians are both being killed, and the narrative over the weekend, it's not just Christians, though. That's what I see in all the news reports, at least in U.S. media. Oh, yes, Christians are being killed, but a lot of people are being killed in Nigeria. You have the Nigerian government's claim repeated here in the New York Times coverage. You also have CNN's headline this weekend that the violence in Nigeria is more nuanced than that, than just Islamic militants targeting Christians. ABC News this week, they consulted the experts. When are they ever wrong? And the experts say that really everyone in Nigeria is getting attacked indiscriminately. It has nothing to do with Christianity.
President Trump saying he ordered the strikes against terrorists who, quote, have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. Analysts tell ABC News the reality on the ground in Africa's most populous country, home to millions of Christians and Muslims, is complex.
Christians are not the sole target of ISIS in Nigeria. They have been indiscriminate in their violence.
Okay, but
it's a great defense. Like, no, we're killing everybody.
Everybody gets
it's indiscriminate. Like, women, children, Christians, what?
It's like an Indian truck driver down the freeway.
Yeah, exactly.
Just everybody is indiscriminately at risk.
Yeah.
Could be Haitians, could be you and your family, who knows? But even that, Christians aren't the sole target. Trump didn't say that Christians are the sole target. He said primary target. And if you're curious about the way Nigeria is broken down, which I was, because I don't know much of anything.
I know nothing, yeah.
Okay, so where he hit, where the U.S. hit these ISIS camps is in the northwest part of Nigeria on the border of the country that you need to be very careful in pronouncing. Is it Niger? Niger? What's the official pronunciation?
God just stopped me. Niger. I'm going to go with Niger.
Niger. Okay. Niger. Make sure it's a soft G, everybody. Yeah. But up there on the border with the N-word country.
Hard R, soft G.
With hard Aristan. Yeah. It's on the border with hard Aristan. But Nigeria, it's the most populous country in Africa. The split between Christians and Muslims is about 45% Christian, 55% Muslim. Christians are mostly in the south along the coast there. Muslims are mostly in the north, and that's where those U.S. strikes that hit the ISIS camps are.
Okay, but that's is it ISIS? I thought ISIS was, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not super educated on the subject, but I thought that ISIS was the way that we pronounce what they called ISIL. Which was like the Islamic State of something in the Levant.
Yeah.
And Levant is like Middle East, not
Syria,
Sub-Saharan Africa, right?
Yeah, but there's even like ISIS-K in Afghanistan. They have all their offshoots, you know.
Is that just like the new, what was the thing after 9/11 that was the name for the Islamists? That was just like, it turned out it was just like a CIA term for like Muslims?
Maybe, I don't know. This is ISIS-N is what we're looking at. ISIS-N. Yeah. Okay. And ISIS apparently is a real thing. Boko Haram has been targeting Christians in that area. You have a lot of you have a lot of African Islamic groups that don't particularly like infidels of a wide variety. So I assume they all. It's kind of like the president of Syria. Is he? Is he ISIS? Is he Al Qaeda? Is he something else?
Al Qaeda, that was the one. Yeah, because apparently that just means like the group or something.
I don't know. It's
like yeah, they're that. I think I'm wondering about like the appropriate tightness of the label of ISIS being applied to things. Or it's just like we shot them, they're ISIS.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like that's the way it goes in a lot of these places. But
I'm fine with it.
But. So CNN's coverage here, it's much more nuanced than that. There's a lot of violence targeting everybody, but you scroll through the coverage and you read about some of the most significant recent attacks. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not just against Christians, but in April, Muslim gunmen stormed a Christian farming village and killed 40 people. And then 2 months later, in June or sometime around there, Muslim attackers killed 100 more people in a largely Christian community in the southeastern state of Benue, according to Amnesty International. So, yeah, I'm sure there is a lot of violence of varying types where you have, as they say, there's ethnic tensions of a wide variety and a battle between farmers and herders over limited access to land and water and other resources. I don't think anybody said that all the mass killing in Nigeria is strictly Muslims killing Christians, but it seems like that's a big piece of what's going on. So to act as though like that motive itself is not of any significance relative to the others is a weird way to frame it. I think we all know what they're doing, that violence against Christians doesn't really count, even if not, doesn't count when it's in this country, certainly doesn't count when it's in Africa.
Right.
But I'm thinking about how to shape my own view and opinion on what's going on here, because of course we've seen a lot of military action lately, strikes of this type, and frankly we've seen this throughout Trump's certainly his second term, but even in his first term. We have the ongoing drug boat airstrikes off the coast of Venezuela and in the Caribbean. We have the strike on the Iranian nuclear facility. We're striking the Houthis in Yemen, or is it the Houthis in Yemen or the Houthis in Yemen? I don't know, but
I'm not the right person to ask.
We're protecting the international shipping in the Red Sea.
Yeah.
But so I don't want to be hysterical about this and say, oh man, we're getting dragged into full-scale world war once again, because I've heard the world war warnings many times every time this happens. And it doesn't, in fairness to Trump, even though I'm skeptical about our involvement militarily in foreign countries, we haven't seen prior episodes of things like this drag us into some sort of drawn out conflict or some sort of full scale war. But I'm kind of curious about what the philosophy is here. Obviously, ISIS is an enemy of ours. We don't want them to expand. I guess maybe it's just that. But how far are you willing to go in policing that? Where like no one can belong to the ISIS club anywhere in the world. Is it about that? Because if that's our philosophy, we got a lot of policing to do in a lot of countries. Is it about protecting Christians generally, not just in this country, but generally across the globe? Again, even though I'm very sympathetic with what looks to be Christian persecution in Nigeria, Africa in general, I don't want that to be a prominent thing. Is it our job to stop it everywhere it happens? Is it just that we're going to take on ISIS anywhere we go? How do you interpret the philosophy of what we're doing here? That's what I'm a little bit worried about. I don't see the limits.
I don't know. I wish that this is one thing that, I mean, I'm of two minds. One, you're right about the first statement that, and I had said this back when Trump bombed Iran. I was like, you know what? Watch, there might not be blowback. It might not be World War III. He can just go in, boom, lesson learned, get out. And they seem to have been successful in these sort of targeted strikes, not causing blowback or extenuating circumstances. They seem to be achieving whatever it is they're trying to achieve, which I have no idea what that is. And I wish they would have someone come out and explain to us what's going on. Like, what's the goal? Like, what are you doing? What is the strategy here? Because you're not like, there's Christians in Canada. You're not doing anything for us. And
that's true.
Bombing one thing. And like, is there a plan? Is this strategic? Like, what is the goal here?
When are the targeted strikes on Ottawa coming?
Well,
I'm not condemning such a thing. I think it's desperately needed. Actually,
I can't speak.
Kidding, Raju Mahan. I would never
Yeah.
call for such a thing. But
In Minecraft.
yeah, and it's not to say that I have all the answers. It's just
but they should be giving us some, right? Like,
well, it's totally plausible to say, listen, you're overthinking it. Trump just takes out our enemies in very precise ways. You don't have to worry about it. We're not putting boots on the ground. It's not a full scale war. We fire some missiles off a ship. They get blown up. They think twice about messing with us or expanding, and that's it. That's really all there is to it. And yeah, you can point strictly to the practical effects and say, yeah, at the end of the day, we're not drawn into a war and our enemies are weakened, and that's really all it's about. You don't have to worry about some grand scale war because it hasn't happened, and if they wanted it to happen, it would have by now. Yeah, I guess that's the explanation I'm going to have to be satisfied with. But I like rules. I like order.
Yeah.
I like knowing
I
like knowing the mindset and the philosophy by which you're operating, and I'm unclear what that mindset and philosophy is right now.
Yeah, I don't like relying on trust me, bro, when it comes to the government missiling people. Like,
well,
it should be, even if they're just going on good intelligence and know exactly what they're doing, who they're killing and why, and it's for the right reasons and whatever. But at the same time, some of this stuff is definitely bordering on extrajudicial. And I think that the American people do have some right to be informed.
And of what benefit is it to our country? And again, I am not trying to be insensitive to Christian persecution elsewhere. And I'm not saying it's not worth thinking about ways we could protect Christians who are persecuted. I just, how does America benefit from us policing religious conflict in Nigeria? Maybe there's an answer I'm missing. That's a question I don't see a clear answer to either.
I mean, maybe it'll stop immigration.
Or the call centers for the scammers. I'm open to that explanation.
Blow up the airplanes and the phone lines, and America wins.
But I guess if I was pulling the levers and I said, it's happening in another country, don't care, not getting involved, and then ISIS comes here and kills all of us one day, that's something I'd have to answer for.
We got to fight them there, so we don't have to fight them here.
I guess, man. Anyway,
right.
In other Trump news, I'll be quick about this, but significant decision from the Supreme Court this week. The Supreme Court rejected Trump's National Guard deployment to Chicago, leaving in place a ruling from a Chicago federal judge blocking Trump's deployment. This is a temporary decision while the case makes its way through the lower courts. But for now, the Supreme Court says Trump has not shown a legal source of authority that allows the military to enforce Illinois law. The decision was 6-3. Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch dissenting. Alito wrote, quote, "Whatever one may think about the current administration's enforcement of the immigration laws or the way ICE has conducted its operations, the protection of federal officers from potentially lethal attacks should not be thwarted." And recall in Chicago specifically, so the majority framed this as the National Guard enforcing Illinois law and protecting Illinois' police power to enforce its own law, which is something I do think is very important. But I don't know that this is a matter of enforcing Illinois law necessarily, or maybe it is. In Chicago, you have Chicago city leadership and police department leadership telling their officers not to respond to calls for assistance from ICE agents. This is not about enforcing immigration. It's that there are mobs attacking and interfering with ICE operations, and they need help in stopping the violence from the mobs. And Chicago police refuse to participate in that sort of enforcement. So I guess that would be a matter of Illinois law enforcement. It's not about immigration. It's just you don't get to assault cops or obstruct federal law enforcement. Anyway, for now, there's not going to be a National Guard deployment in Chicago. It's possible that this gets litigated through the lower courts, returns to the Supreme Court. Maybe that'll change at a later date. But once again, you get all this narrative of, the Supreme Court, they're handpicked by Trump and they rubber stamp every whim that Trump has. Not really. It's another example where what you might call his excess was at least for now stopped by the Supreme Court. So I saw it framed this morning by the analysts on ABC's news coverage. The obvious answer here is, well, look at Barrett, Gorsuch, both Trump nominees who win against him in this case. The obvious answer there is they're not actually Trump rubber stamps. They think that he is outside the bounds of the law in this case. But the way they framed it was, well, the shift on the Supreme Court is that the Supreme Court is starting to realize that in the future there might be a Democrat president again, and they don't want a Democrat president to have that power. They never look to the law. They never just apply the law as it's written. No, everything is done with partisan political calculation. To believe that, you don't read the opinions flat out. You don't read them. You don't understand the legal reasoning. You just think that they are straight up members of a super Congress that just create the law that they want. But they do think that because that's what they want judges to be. They want a super Congress in the Supreme Court.
Yeah. That's the only way they can explain, because that's exactly what we would have done. And it's not like the Democrats would really not use the Supreme Court to get what they want. Roe versus Wade. There's all kinds of precedent where it's clearly shown that to them it is a political arm. It's a weapon to be manipulated, and they assume that's what their enemies are going to do.
Well, I know you saw it because you talked about the Leering Center. So you've seen at least some of this video from Nick Shirley, independent journalist, who's taken a look at another layer of Somali fraud in Minnesota. It really seems there is no bottom. If you apply basic scrutiny to any Somali business, there's certainly Somali business that operates on collecting some form of public benefit. There's probably something a little sketchy going on there. But that's what Nick Shirley did. Nick Shirley's 23 years old. He's been doing some great work. I actually didn't see him until earlier this year. I'm not sure how long he's been at it, but he was doing some work covering Antifa in Portland, which is how I first found him and found a lot of the videos he was getting to be valuable. So I appreciate his work. But he's doing something very important that highly respected, highly esteemed members of our journalist class will not do, which is just, hey,
investigate things, ask
all
questions.
All these Somali businesses collecting public benefits, they have addresses. They are supposedly publicly open operations we could go take a look at. Let's go do that. And so this is, wherever you look at it, whether it's healthcare, whether it's food, housing, any public benefit, there in Minneapolis, there's like a Somali business operation that is cashing those checks. This time it's in daycare. And you visit these daycare centers and they don't look very credible, let's say.
Yeah.
They look like scams for cash, like the rest of these operations. And so here is Nick Shirley, and he has a guy with him just known as David, who did a lot of the research here. Apparently, David has been collecting information on these Somali scams for some time, but working together, they just got a list of these Somali daycare centers collecting a bunch of public money, and they went to just see the operations. And do you
have a clip here? Because I need to do something for 15 seconds.
Yeah. I'll play it. You can come back.
Okay, perfect.
Here's a visit to the what is this? The Minnesota Child Care Center.
Children here in your child care?
Which child care, ma'am? Is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department? That is harassment.
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million.
Okay, so that's the first case. This is like a 40-minute video. A lot of examples of this. But in another case, this was what Mark was talking about, the Leering Center. Nick and David visit a daycare business that's supposed to be called the Quality Learning Center. The sign was misspelled. It was not in the despite the millions of dollars collected from the state, it was not in the budget to get a replacement. What is this? Like a 10x4 sign or something? It's not a gigantic sign. Anyway, they have to work with.
Is that it's quality luring,
Right.
not just like normal luring. It's quality luring.
The Quality Leering Center. But the problem with the Quality Leering Center, like the prior one, is that it doesn't appear that there are any kids leering here. And there's just some insane woman outside accusing Nick of being an ICE agent.
Maybe in case you can't see the sign and anyone is confused, it's supposed to say learning.
Yeah. They forgot the N. Or maybe the N was removed deliberately to out of racial sensitivity for those reasons.
Maybe that's why. Yeah.
Anyway, here's the Quality Leering Center. Yeah, right.
Quality Leering Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up.
said they spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up.
How do you have ICE here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up.
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up. We have ICE.
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up.
and getting $4 million over
Don't
the
open up. It's ICE.
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away.
What do you think about that? Are you in favor?
Away.
Are you in favor of that?
Go away.
You know where
You're
they-
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you.
Are you in favor of $1.9 million going illegally, fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up.
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are. You don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong
That's ironic.
Shut up!
Yeah, the
Silly
funny thing is,
woman.
She's actually she's the government employee whose job it is to verify who they give the billions of dollars to.
Yeah. Now, maybe there was a mistake here, though. Of course, you saw the researcher David there put up the receipt that shows that the Quality Learning Center is receiving billions of dollars from the state, but that had an N in it. So is the double check the address.
That's true.
He showed records for the Quality Learning Center. This is the Quality Leering Center. Just
maybe these guys never got any money and are just running a legit school. Very possible. But I don't, because I saw all these clips too. I don't know how they verified where they got their information about how much money these places are getting. But like, man, I'm in the wrong job. Like, how is you just go to the government and say, give me money? And that's
I don't know how the childcare billing works specifically. I know they're licensed for X amount of kids. I don't know how, because the way in Minnesota, at least for low income people, childcare is covered by the state. That's not necessarily true in every state, as far as I understand. But I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works state by state. But as far as who's billed and how, I would be guessing. I'm not sure. But I would be guessing it would work something like medical claims, where in this case, it'd probably be hours rather than services rendered. But presumably there's some kind of roster of these are the kids who are taken care of here for how many hours, and we bill the state for those hours. The question is, are those hours real? Are those kids real? Or are they like the kids who got free lunches at the Safari restaurant, Ilhan Omar's favorite place for lunch? And in fact, they just got the list of names from listofrandomnames.com and billed the state and got millions of dollars out of it.
But then, does the state, I mean, you think that, I don't know, again, I'd like someone to actually really dig into this and find out how the scam works. Is that you just write down names of kids and then charge the state X amount of dollars per kid? Or do you have to have a roster of employees, how much you're paying them? Like, do they cover your expenses? Or just like pay out cash? Like, that's crazy to me.
I wouldn't be surprised if
I've only like worked for myself and had to deal with, our version of the IRS, and they're very diligent.
Okay.
About like every penny.
The IRS here
is just like, just take it.
The IRS here is if they target you. And certainly Medicare and Medicaid are, to a degree, there are a lot of Medicare and Medicaid scams exposed every year. That said, for every scam that's exposed or every improper billing in Medicare and Medicaid, how many improper billings do you think go unnoticed by the auditors every single year? I wouldn't be surprised in this case if the law requires pretty tight bookkeeping and a lot of disclosure about who exactly and what exactly is being done. It's another question entirely whether any bureaucrat, in this case in St. Paul, is looking at this stuff diligently. And it's not just a question of do they have the resources to do that. As we'll get to with Tim Walz in a moment, I think it's a fair question to ask, who's actually in on this?
Well, that's what I was going to say is who's signing the checks? I'm assuming these are state programs, not federal programs. And
I think there's some federal partnership in the child care. I don't know a lot about how the child care system works.
Well, and it could be federal money, but then the state is in charge of regulating it. And then, okay, who's the minister or whatever you call it down there, but who's the person in charge of this, giving out the money? And what are they doing to make sure that it's, are they Somali? Are they part of the community? Is this an entire racket? Like, I need more investigation.
I'm glad you noticed that this random woman too is mad and says, you guys are ICE. You don't belong here. Get out. You don't belong here. You're ICE.
Take that same energy and just turn it a little bit.
Ma'am, that's the whole issue is people who don't belong here. But okay. Anyway, when I talk about like who's in on the scam or who knows about the corruption, potentially who benefits from it, that is the big question. Because on this scale, you can explain a lot with incompetence, but you would think by the time a lot of this has been exposed, if there was any degree of honesty in the people operating that state, they'd get serious about cracking down on this fraud. Instead, I guess Tim Walz is just going to ignore the elephant in the room. His media allies are going to ignore it in the hope that it goes away. But that's the problem is it ain't going away because it's of such a scale that it's historic in American history. And as Nick Shirley is demonstrating, with just the lightest scratch, you uncover what appears to be massive scams. Like, again, I think Nick is doing phenomenal work. I don't want to be interpreted as discrediting or something. The amazing thing about it is the ease with which it's done. Like, hey, let's just go visit the place.
Like literally, let's just ask
and see what happens.
Like, no scam. No scam here. Yeah. Okay.
So could this be part of a bigger scandal?
Matt, you got to give Mr. Walz a break because he's busy. It is Kwanzaa.
I'm sure he is celebrating. No, he claims to be a very loyal, faithful Christian. We'll get to that in a moment. But yes, in 2023, Minnesota governor and famed retard Tim Walz.
The R word. This is shameful.
Led the push for a pay raise for Minnesota's state-funded child care providers. The governor's office announced, this is October 2023, $316 million in new funding to increase compensation for child care providers for 2 years. He said Minnesota's economy doesn't work without child care providers, which is a pretty amazing statement considering Minnesota's economy worked just fine for a century and a half before any state-funded child care program existed. This stuff started in the 90s. He kind of re-upped it in 2023, as far as I understand. But yeah, this child care program, this state child care program, looks like just another way to steal from people who work and give it to people who don't. But instead of taking accountability for the massive fraud, Tim Walz is deflecting, and he's going to do the blame Trump game still. He's actually taking a detour slightly. He's blaming JD Vance, the vice president, for embracing white supremacy that's now targeting his state. So this all started at America Fest last weekend, JD Vance, the Turning Point conference. JD Vance gave a speech. He said, in America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
And Tim Walz, responding to that statement, which is, if you listen to everything JD was saying, it's in the context of a race-neutral philosophy. But Tim Walz interprets that to be an open endorsement of white supremacism.
Yeah, Tim Walz like, yeah, fuck yeah, you do have to apologize.
And that's the thing. So Tim Walz, first of all, he says his state is facing scrutiny to distract from all the Trump problems. It's not that our state has massive problems and is ripping off not only our state's taxpayers, but everybody across the country to the extent that massive amounts of federal dollars are involved. But at the end, he says, he asks, what is JD Vance even talking about? I've never been asked to apologize for being white in my entire life.
I think it's pretty clear to all of us exactly what this president is doing. He's targeting states and communities that he has a national political fight against and that he doesn't agree with. It's also a distraction from his own personal crimes that are out there being investigated while he's harassing others. On January 1st, your healthcare costs are going to skyrocket. Groceries aren't any cheaper. Your community's no safer. This is what happens when your own federal government wages war against you. This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy when you hear the Vice President of the United States talk about now white people won't have to apologize for being white. That's never happened once in my whole damn life.
Well, are you retarded?
Tim Walz, if he has never heard of apologies for being white, apparently very forgetful, Tim Walz. Because,
what do you got?
Yeah, credit to Libs of TikTok for digging it up. This is from last year, August of 2024. Then vice presidential candidate Tim Walz himself acknowledging his white privilege.
We pat ourselves on the back sometimes that we acknowledge we have the worst racial disparities. I understand that the privilege I've been given as a white man and the privilege of sitting in the office of governor, that privilege had better be used to not just talk about the problem, but to solve the problem.
Yeah, but Matt, that's not someone specifically asking him to apologize for it. But isn't that Jacob Fry standing right behind him?
It is. Yeah, the guy who just ate the pile of Somali beans in a gesture of submission.
Crying. Don't we have video of him literally like spit polishing black people's bare feet?
Oh, and groveling at the casket of George Floyd.
Yeah. Not apologizing at all. But he's borderline white. And then just look at the.
Jeez,
I know. Right. Yeah. Hard J on that one.
At this Tuesday press conference from Tim Walz, this is what I was talking about with him policing Christianity now. Even though, when you said he celebrated Kwanzaa, were you speculating or did he actually celebrate?
No, he tweeted Happy Kwanzaa.
Oh my God. All right. Well, Walz also declared that ICE agents are not Christian. He says he knows they don't go to church on Christmas because they don't practice real Christianity.
I would not put it past this administration to target midnight mass services amongst folks going to worship, because that's who they are. And God knows they're not going to church, or if they are, they're not doing it the way that we were taught.
Yes, the real Christianity that Tim Walz was taught. Abort babies, cut off the kids' nuts, steal from your neighbors, give it to foreigners. All very traditional Christian teachings.
Yeah.
This framing of, and I don't know what, I assume Tim Walz considers himself Christian based on those statements. I don't know, what his personal beliefs are in that way. But there's a lot of non-Christians who want to frame what Christianity is and means. And it is always this bizarre distortion where Christianity means there are no standards whatsoever. You must tolerate everything. Christianity is not a moral framework through which you navigate the world. Instead, it means all morals are relative and undefined, and you must accept any behavior from anybody at any time.
No, don't you know Matthew 1 verse 5? Jesus said, "Thou must be a communist and cuckold." It's right in the Bible.
Is that? I always wondered why I was named for the book.
Oh, you missed
Matthew.
that.
Is that why?
Get Tim Walz. He's got the real Bible. You got to read that one. I love being preached to by atheist leftists.
What do you mean? He's a traditional Christian scholar,
yeah, just like Joe Biden, right?
Yeah,
he's right up in there doing the stuff, and they know what Christianity is, and it means give away everything and eat shit.
The
Bible says.
Tim Walz had a very funny slip in this speech. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a slip. Maybe it was a confession. I like his description of his friend group during the vice presidential debate, of course.
I've become friends with school shooters.
Was that a confession? Who does Tim Walz actually know? But as part of this speech, Tim Walz said that the Trump and ICE attention on Minnesota distracts from the real work of crime.
When law enforcement is driven by profiling or intimidation, it undermines all the trust in the community. It makes us less safe, and it pulls resources away from doing the real work of crime.
Tim Walz doing the real work of crime in Minnesota.
Crime and quality leering, Matt.
Yeah.
This is what the backbone of the Minnesota economy.
Once again, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, what would they be without all that enrichment?
Yeah, that's definitely a thoroughly enriched state. You're right. And once again, paging Pam Bondi, though, because if Tim Walz is doing the real work of crime in that state, it's not just that the fraud, again, is on Minnesota taxpayers. And at least circumstantially, it looks like there was a deliberate effort to funnel more money into the very programs that are now being defrauded by the political friends of these people. If Nick Shirley, with his camera and his friend, can go find a lot of information on this with apparently just a plane ride over to Minnesota, why? What are we sitting on at the DOJ? It must be the truckload of Epstein files. I don't know. But paging Pam Bondi, people who need to be charged, I know it's a long list and very few have been charged. Something's got to happen. This is not a Minnesota-specific thing. This is one of the largest, if not the... Well, I guess that list might be giant considering like what you count in terms of all the wars and COVID and all that stuff. But the level of fraud on the federal taxpayer here is so significant that it's not just that it should be investigated and charged by the DOJ. It must be.
But that's my question. Is this by any chance and any possibility a jurisdictional issue? Like maybe does the state have to investigate itself? And trust me, don't get me going on, again, I live in Canada, so I can never criticize. I'm very jealous of all the good things Trump is doing, but also as an outside observer, there's a lot more. Like
federal government has jurisdiction in their Medicaid spending, in their COVID relief spending, which now in fairness, they have prosecuted these Somali scammers themselves. And there have been about 70 or 80 of them charged, more coming
federally.
But yes, federally charged. Okay. A lot of them convicted now and going to prison. However, I'm not at all convinced or satisfied that it is limited to a few dozen Somalis. I think there are state actors in Minnesota who are a part of this. And I think if you had a serious investigation into it and you recovered a lot of the communications of these people, you'd find evidence to that effect.
Well, the fact that the scams are being run, right? At what point does it become the government's responsibility when they're the ones handing out the cash and not doing any due diligence on where it's going? Like, to me, that's culpability.
Yeah.
You let yourself
you're right.
be scammed. You're a part of the scam. I'm sorry.
Right. Like,
and especially if it's benefiting you, just even politically.
Yeah, you're arguing basically negligence there. It's like even if they're not in on the scam, like there's no email that says I, Tim Walz, authorized the Quality Leering Center to defraud the taxpayer. If he had reason, and by the way, we know that he had reason to be concerned because you have all these whistleblowers. You have hundreds of them saying we notified Walz and his administration of this fraud years ago and action was not taken. So I think you're right that even if it's as simple as whoopsie negligence in that way, clearly you should have taken action that you didn't, and there should be criminal implications in that regard as well.
Mm-hmm. Like, to me, this is the same as the grooming scandal in the UK. It's like, well, you turned a blind eye and let it go on because you didn't want to get called racist. Like, to me, you're just as guilty. You let it happen, if not facilitated it. Sorry.
But if we're counting on Pam to bring the charges, I would say keep counting. It's going to be a while.
Can we do something about this woman?
Well, maybe in 2026. A couple other items I know I'm a little bit.
Hey, Cash Patel is in there and he's getting it done, right?
No, he's too busy driving a truck recklessly down the highway.
Is he cooking curry with his bare feet?
I don't know.
This is why, Matt. Yeah. I'm just a hard liner. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway,
I need somebody named Smith in that position.
All right, fine.
John Smith.
You heard it here. Get Jack Smith in there. He'll do a great job. Couple of Minnesota items I want to get to before we take a break. I know I'm a little past the hour, and I'll get to your super chats in just a moment. Appreciate you guys who support the show, and thanks for your patience. But the fraud is apparently not worthy of attention from Minnesota's political class. Maybe they're in on it, as we're discussing. It's also not worthy of the attention of Minnesota's largest newspaper, the Minnesota Star Tribune, because this week the paper published its year in review in Minnesota, and you can scroll through all the many paragraphs and you won't find a mention of the fraud in here. But I forgot to highlight it, but where is it? Yeah, you won't find mention of the fraud, but you will find mention that Donald Trump disparaged 108,000 Minnesota Somalis. So that's part. It was just Trump disparaged them. There's nothing more to say about what happened in the Somali community in Minnesota in 2025. You know what's important in the year in review in Minnesota, though? We have Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan doing some sort of charity concert. We got to include that. The Prince musical, the musical adaptation of Prince's movie Purple Rain, that hit the State Theater in Minneapolis in November. That's very important. Also, the Timberwolves, the NBA team, they will have new ownership, apparently. All of these things are so much more important than the Somali fraud.
Who cares?
And this paper is supposed to be a serious publication.
Who owns this paper? What are they doing?
I don't know. You'll have to look it up.
We need a journalist to investigate the journalists.
Well, let's get Nick Shirley to
Hey, listen, the worse they do, the more people rely on quality entertainment such as this.
Yeah, well, of course.
Find out what's up.
Lastly, in Minnesota politics, speaking of the surrender to the fraudsters, Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, eating that nasty bean pile, and all the Somalis laughing in his face because even they know it's gross.
The best thing was he did the OK symbol too,
right,
with
the
his
white
mouthful. I have that saved. That's my go-to reply for anything like on the board. I'm like, you're gonna have eat the slop, and be a white supremacist.
Pretend to like it. Yeah. Tim Walz is running for a third term as governor. And so there's going to be an open Senate seat in 2026 in Minnesota. Incumbent Tina Smith, she's retiring. Tim Walz was thought to be maybe interested in that seat. He's not going to pursue it. He's going to pursue a third term. So now you have at least one of the favorite candidates. This her and Angie Craig, a congresswoman in Minnesota. But Tim Walz Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan is one of those who is likely to replace Tina Smith in the U.S. Senate come this time next year. And Tina Smith, Peggy Flanagan, rather, the lieutenant governor for Tim Walz, she made a pandering appearance on Somali TV. Yes, they have their own TV network where Ilhan Omar promotes the Safari restaurant and features the fraud. But she's pandering for the Somali vote because she puts on the hijab because Somalis are part of the fabric of Minnesota.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Peggy Flanagan. I am the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, and I'm really honored and humbled to be here with all of you today. I am incredibly clear that the Somali community is part of the fabric of the state of Minnesota. I think about my friendship with Nimco. We've been friends for almost 25 years. And when I think of being part of Minnesota and growing up here, the Somali community has always been a part of my Minnesota. So I want to just encourage the community to know that we're with you. We've got your back. I am here shopping today, and just encourage other folks to show up, support our Somali businesses, support our immigrant neighbors. And I know that things are scary right now. I will continue to stand with the Somali community to be with you and to do all I can to return the friendship and community that the Somali community has shown me.
Just a gay Muzzy terrorist.
The assimilation is going well, Mark.
Oh yeah, it's so weird because she keeps calling them Somalis.
That is the proper term.
Yeah, I know, but I was told that they're just as American as you.
Oh, I see. I see. I thought, okay. Yeah, they're just Americans. Yeah. The Somali is an unnecessary descriptor.
Somali. I didn't know Somali and America were synonyms, apparently, and they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Somali means American.
Otherwise a diehard progressive, she, of course, wears the hijab in full submission to toxic Somali masculinity. Very interesting. But this is also the lady, you may remember her. She famously wore earlier this year a Protect Trans Kids shirt with a knife on it. And I don't know if the knife is to protect the kids or to castrate the kids or both. But I just wonder, did she talk to the Somali leadership about, protecting the trans kids in their communities and what they think about the trans kids? I assume they reached some sort of agreement on that philosophy.
Yeah. No, I can't wait for the Muslim versus commie battle. It's inevitable when we lose. The Somalis and the communists go at it. I will be enjoying from the grave, from my gulag. Yeah.
Well, if I survive just long enough to see that fight, that's a life well lived. I guess you're right. Okay, we have to. Anything else you want to say about the Somali situation or Minneapolis?
I already thought tax was theft.
Yeah,
and this is just
this is trolling at this point. This is trolling.
This is just like rubbing it in our faces, and I'm not enjoying it.
Well, let me get into some super chat again. Appreciate your patience, guys. Thank you for waiting for a little longer than I usually aim for this evening. Long Dong John. Well, let me start at the bottom here, actually. Joshy Boy. Stranger Things wasn't ruined for me because I stopped after the first season. That was the correct move. The first season was excellent. And frankly, I've liked a lot of the show and the story since, but it's not that this direction. It's how absurdly over the top it is, and we'll get into it. That's I was cackling, dying watching this. You can't. There's all these people participated in this. Seriously, I guess the check was worth it.
I love it. Just of the clip I saw of the clip of that portion of the show is it looks like an intervention. It's like imagine you come out to your mom and your stepdad and your friend and your other friend and your other friend's sister and your friend's cousin and this other guy and this other guy and these other people you just met, all them at the same time. But listen, I'm for it. Let's just keep this up. Keep it up because it's great. And if any. I have an ongoing joke with my boy who's he's 22 and he's went to public school and he's very balanced about this stuff. Tries to be kind to the rainbow people, and he says that he's getting to the point. He's like he can't defend it anymore. And we were going to watch these 2 episodes on Christmas, and so he had binged everything since season 1 the week before. I didn't quite catch up. That's why I still haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
But we were, even before this had come out, I was like, they're going to gay it. He's like, oh, please don't.
I can't wait to get into this because the most extreme, ridiculous gay memes are hardly gayer than the show actually
No, you
was.
can't out gay.
Long Dong John, Matt and I once made love in Minnesota. Don't tell anyone, but we said we did. We said we, okay, never, let me back up. Matt and I once made love in Minnesota. Don't tell anyone, but we just said we did and pocketed millions in LGBT grants. Now we're definitely going to have a happy new year. Beat that, Somalians.
Wow.
That's a smart scam. There's got to be LGBT. Isn't that the plot to I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry or whatever that Adam Sandler movie is?
Yeah.
You fake gay for the benefits.
I don't remember. Yeah, how did that work?
I can't. I don't think I ever saw that one. I just remember it was about being fake gay. You know, my wife, who's always she's ahead of me on all the deeper tinfoil that I don't dive into. Have you ever heard the theory that Pete Buttigieg isn't gay? He's only gay for political expediency?
I have heard that, but he's very gay, so.
But the thing is, like, he's not flaming in his mannerisms, but he tells you he's gay all the time.
I could go either way. I'm bi on the Pete Buttigieg question.
What?
Could be gay. Could just be really. Could be a fag. We don't know. Is he gay or a fag? It could go either way.
All right. Thank you, Long Dong John. Lightning Blue Meanie says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Matt and Mark. Watch out for those truckers. Mad Max Curry Road. Mad Max Curry Road. That's, I still don't have the formal intro bit, and people had submitted a lot of ideas. The thing is, like, the truck drivers aren't just Indian, so that's why I hesitated a little bit to make it only Indian. It's like El Haji. Who knows what the hell he is? He's all the things.
Yeah.
But Mad Max Curry Road, that's
good. Someone's got to. We can do something with that.
Taker 610. Matt
firing up the AI engine right now.
Matt needs the "You are gay. Why are you gay?" clip. I do have that one.
Why are you gay?
I just don't have the "you are gay" part of it. But do you know that? Is it Ugandan or that famous interview with that guy?
No one doesn't know that, Matt.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some people aren't in. I know that I'm not like the greatest meme lord in the world, but not everyone's clued into that.
I think that's like where memes came from. Was that clip, and they were like, "Wait, we should clip things, and then post them places." Sorry,
everyone knows
losing its mind.
Everyone knows that part.
Why are you gay?
For sure. Hey. But the other part, who says I am gay? You are gay. And they go back and forth.
You are gay. Why? I saw an interview with that guy just recently.
Yeah, he's around. I know he still has an active social media account, I think. Even though the interviews for
made his career.
Yeah. Thoughts and blogs. The genocide of Christians in Nigeria is very real. Since the early 2000s, nearly 20,000 churches have been destroyed. Entire Christian villages are targeted and destroyed. It is horrific. Yeah, but what about the mosques, though? Do you have a tally of them? It's 20,000 churches and 20,000 mosques. So it's really the same.
Who's the female rapper who's like friends with Drake and whatever? What the hell's her name?
I don't know.
She just came out at the. Are
you talking about Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, Nicki Minaj. Wasn't she just talking about that at the Turning Point thing? Which was surprising that she showed up there, and she was talking about the white Christians getting non-white Christians getting killed.
I don't know a lot about what's going on there and what the history of it is. I don't doubt the claim, though. The idea that that Christians are just going to successfully and peacefully build churches in Boko Haram country, probably not. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's accurate. 20,000 churches destroyed in recent years, or since the early 2000s, he's saying. So the last couple decades. Definitely could believe it. Yeah. Also says, regarding Nigeria, people on the ground realize that it is the first domino. If it falls to radical Islam, most of Africa will follow. Okay, so that maybe that gets at like the philosophy of why or of what benefit to the United States is our intervention. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll take your word for it on the history. I don't know the history, and whether Trump is right or the CNN case for nuance.
Yeah, but my thing is like, but what's like, what did he like? We bombed one thing. Like, come on, colonize or don't colonize.
Yeah, I guess there's that angle too.
Guys.
Like, I'm sure for the people who are targeting Christians, it's going to set them back. But if they're operating in traditional African style with machetes, like how much are they set back? You know, it's not like taking out the Iranian nuclear site where you got to do a little bit of work to build that. So I don't know. But thank you for the information. Like I said, it's totally possible I'm missing a quality information on it because I'm not familiar with the detailed history of the area. I read a little bit about it today, and I'm trying to think what is our philosophy of involvement here. But
I don't know. Again, Rhodesia,
Tortuga. Do either of you gents do the New Year's resolution thing? If so, what are you resolving to do? I'm resolving to read a real book every day. I don't
every day.
Formally. That's what he says. Wow, that's a lot.
I thought you were saying that, Matt.
No,
Okay.
no, that's what he's saying. So he wants to be an accomplished reader. That's a lot. You got to find a lot of time for that, man. I usually don't do resolutions. That's not to say I'm not conscious of self-improvement and aiming to install those sorts of tasks into my life throughout the year. I just don't necessarily sit down and do it as a formal end of year thing. But if I had to on the spot think of things I'd like to improve on, it would probably be I want to be it would be in my role as husband and father, and that's not to say that I'm bad at either of those things. I hope my wife and children wouldn't say that, because everything I do is in service to that family unit. But what I mean by that is, like, I'm the sort of person that gets very focused in work, because to me, if I fail in the task of providing for my family, then everything else is kind of like, if I fail at that, there's no such thing. Like, I can't be a good dad if I fail at that. It's just, I don't know if I think about that consciously, but that's the way my psychology operates. But what that means is, like, I really struggle with just being in the moment, as they say. Just enjoying a little bit of playtime with my son and not being distracted by my son. I say that because Calvin's 4, and most of the like playtime is involving him, but of course it includes all my sons.
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, it's very hard for me to turn my responsibilities off and just enjoy that playtime and be totally involved in that and not distracted. Likewise, it can be hard to give my wife full attention in our time together the same way. So if I had a resolution, it would be that, like, find ways to prioritize that family time a little bit better. Easier said than done, but I'll do my best.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a flaw for a lot of men. I think we all struggle with that, like being able to be attentive and there and in the moment while you're there with them. It reminds me of just when the kids are here, we're talking about the Adam Sandler movie Click.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Where,
I reviewed it.
Clicked through, and it was
kind of
like,
had a love-hate with that one.
It made me cry.
Yeah.
But it's still an Adam Sandler film, so I have the appropriate amount of hate for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough thing for men, because I think you're dealing with all the responsibilities, and it's hard to just do the best for the people you care about, and to tell them and to let them know when you're there. So yeah, I agree with that. About resolutions, for me, I've never been a resolution person. I find it like it's like a built-in excuse for failure if you make something a resolution. So my thing is like having, I don't know if you know this, but I was a professional model for decades in my younger life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
wow.
And so I've had to.
That's a big game, man.
But, I've had to be in really good shape, physical shape. It's like being a male model is not, you can't just do coke all day.
I should talk to you about dietary discipline. That should be my other resolution. You must have been incredible with that.
I still am. I think I look good for my age, and because my sort of motto and the thing I've explained to everyone is like, you will fail every diet that you ever quit, and that's why you fail. Like any change you make is you change your life forever.
Yes, like the concept of a diet is maybe implicitly temporary or something.
Yeah. And so you will fail, guaranteed.
And that's the thing.
It's like, no, I'm just not gonna eat sugar ever again. And I'm gonna go to the gym every day. But the trick is to do it in small enough increments that you can handle them. Like, change one little thing every month. Like, say you have 20 changes you need to make to be like your perfect ideal person. just make half of one of those every 2 months. You can handle that. But
Yeah,
at the
and-
end of 3 years, you will have made all 20 of those changes, and you will have done it at a rate that you can adjust to and stick to and keep for forever. And that's it. Usually like, I'm going to lose weight next month. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You got to change permanent changes.
You have to create, habits. You have to create new habits, and that's. I've done that with diet a few times, and then I'm like, yeah, but it was awesome before. I'm going back, man. And I always do. Yeah. Like it's like, all right, I've conquered the. It's like the guy who's like, no, man, I could quit smoking whenever I want, and he kind of can. Like he just stops.
Yeah.
But then he's like, but it was I liked cigarettes. So I'm going back.
Well, that's me. Trust me, I still have my vices. I like to drink and I like to smoke, and.
Grab a couple off Rumble here, and I see there are more on YouTube. I will get to you guys at the end of the show, and thanks for supporting the show. Newbie of Death is over on Rumble, and he says, if you watch Stranger Things,
you are gay, LMAO.
Yeah,
guilty
fine.
as charged. Yeah. Seagram's Gin, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Appreciate your support for the show, man. That is...
We love you. You're very special.
That is very generous of you. And thank you, Seagram's Gin. I appreciate you keeping this operation running. I can afford a few more rolls of duct tape now. So thank you for that. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. Yakko, 1977. The murder rate has dropped according to the latest data. Who would have thought deporting thousands of criminals would lower the murder rate? I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you, to find this out. Well, it's like I never know what to trust. Like that crazy outgoing DC police chief who was yelling about how she couldn't be possibly guilty as charged by Congress of manipulating crime data to make the city look better than it actually is. I don't know what to make of crime data these days, because there's so much. There's the FBI itself, which is questionable, but it's aggregated from all these police departments. And how much do I trust the police department at any given urban center in this country? I mean, look at the crazy lady in DC. She was managing the crime stats, or managing the people who were managing the crime stats. I don't know. I don't doubt your premise, by the way, that like removing a lot of these illegal immigrants who are criminal beyond just their presence here and have committed terrible crimes while here, I'm sure that's going to have an improvement factor. I'm not questioning that at all. I don't know. I don't know how much to believe crime data these days.
Yeah. Well, we all know that when it comes to black crime statistics, the FBI is just racist. So nothing's trustworthy.
Yeah. Yakko, thank you. Symes, I think that's how I pronounce it, 82. Hey, Matt, one of your viewers pointed out to me that the episodes with Blonde disappeared off the channel. What gives? They're not there anymore, but they didn't disappear. So you can still find the entire archive of the Matt and Blonde show on the archives page of my website. And so just go to my website, click the archives link in the main navigation. It will take you to the full catalog over on Rumble. The reason I did that is because after a participant in the show bailed without the courtesy of consultation with any of, just abandoned the show, middle fingers to everyone. There's a lot of liability for me in that show on my YouTube channel. That is to say, there are statements made that I could potentially be liable for from a YouTube enforcement perspective. It's not that I'm trying to hide the show. It's that I'll be damned if I'm taking a bullet on YouTube for something that someone else who abandoned this show said.
Okay. Okay, what you're saying.
So it's not to hide it. It's just that I don't accept the accountability for that person who won't show me the audience basic courtesy in the end of that product. So that's why I archived it there, is so that it's still accessible to anybody who wants to see it, but I'm not going to get shut down by Raja Mohan over it. That's the reason why. And by the way, a big thanks to producer Tim, who put forth the work to actually do all that archiving, which took quite a bit of time last year.
Okay, good.
So
now you have me on for the liable statements.
Well, yeah, we'll see. If I get banned, you got your Twitter account banned. If you get my YouTube account banned, then you're on a legendary
I wasn't
run,
even for being racist, which is crazy.
We don't know
like,
what it
there's
was
so
for.
many legit reasons to ban me, and they didn't.
I guess it was
choose any of them.
Spamming, but it could have been racist spamming. We don't know.
Could have maybe.
Your
Matt, you
friendly...
have to forgive me. My wife came in and turned on a really loud fan right there, and then walked out,
Oh, I don't hear it at all.
I will be 2 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just got to turn it off.
Your friendly neighborhood Fed. No jokes tonight for the Matt and Mark show. Happy final show of 2025. May 2026 bring you and your families great joy. My wife and I are expecting our second son early next year. Happy New Year to everyone.
We love you. You're very special.
Well, God bless you and your family. And I hope you bring sanity to all the feds out there. Thank you for doing your part, and appreciate your support for the show. All right.
I'll have to just circle back with you.
I'm going to pause there. We'll get back to the rest of your chats at the end of the show. Appreciate you guys. And we'll get back into, not the news, what I've been waiting to talk about this entire night, which is, of course, the Stranger Things finale and how gay it is. But before we get into it, obviously, I just have to do the obligatory warning and disclaimer.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
If you're a Stranger Things viewer, you haven't watched the final season, you don't want our opinions on what's happened, even though you've already got a healthy dose of that. But the specifics...
I haven't seen these episodes either, so...
Okay. Just don't...
Deal with it, people.
Skip this entire... Turn the live stream off. Later, it'll time-stamped so you can tell where it is. Just skip all this. I don't want your angry emails about how I ruined this gay show for you.
Yeah, but again, I don't think this is really a spoiler. Everybody already knew he was gay. That's why it's so gay.
The spoiler is how gay it was, not that
no
it was
one has
gay.
Mentioned one thing about anything that actually happened in the show.
Yeah, it's
I
all
still haven't
secondary.
seen these episodes. I don't know anything. I'm like, no one even cared because they're just like, wow, that was so gay.
Even if you are at one time a Stranger Things viewer who maybe you haven't caught up on the show and you're thinking about getting back into it, you would just like a quick recap of the final season. It goes like this.
My
dad, you fucking bitch!
That's right. It's 5 seasons of battling interdimensional demons, all to reach the primary point that protagonist Will Byers is a homosexual. It's all been in service to this moment. So if you're unfamiliar with Stranger Things, and I know not everybody watches it, but I think this show is of such cultural relevance, and what's happening to this show is a significant commentary on the state of our society. But just to catch you up on the premise here, this is an 80s horror adventure show where a band of kids discover and fight these evil forces coming from a parallel world called the Upside Down. And the government's involved. They're trying to cover it up. And as I was mentioning earlier, that's what attracted me to this show some 10 years ago, like government cover up, 80s vibe. Like it in ways, it was like, it reminds you of classic Americana long gone. And now it is unfortunately modernized.
Well, I had started watching it during COVID, and I thought this is great because I love conspiracy shit. Like that's my bag all the way. And it was like, okay, look, the government made a thing and then tried to cover it up, and it got a lot of people killed. And I was like, this is great. This is really based and kind of cool. And it was really well made. The characters were great. Everything.
I'll give you some thoughts later that maybe it still is incredibly based. Maybe we're totally misunderstanding. Okay. But that's the premise of Stranger Things. It's been ongoing for 5 seasons now since 2016. The latest season 5, this is the final season, debuted on Thanksgiving with part 1, part 2 on Christmas Day. We got part 2 on Christmas Day. And then we're going to get a final battle, basically a mini movie, a 2-hour movie coming on New Year's Day, where the gang is finally going to fight the evil antagonist Vecna, the evil man who's been taken in. He was banished to the underworld, and he's trying to bring the evil to this world. And okay, so that's what's going on. It's all this setup for this final battle, Game of Thrones style. And as they're planning their attack, this whole gang of kids and all their friends in this small town, Hawkins, Indiana, Will Byers, who is one of the main characters, the main kid who originally gets captured in season 1, revealing this entire underworld and the government conspiracy to cover it up. It's like they're doing their D-Day battle planning, and he stops everyone to wait. Before we go, it's very important. I'm gay.
Okay, wait. So I had actually heard, and this is like, okay, this is the way they kind of justified putting this in the script, because when he was captured by Vecna, who is the evil, mind-altering demigod antagonist, Vecna is in some way kind of mind melds with him, right? And so in the last show,
this is where it gets based, I think. Yes.
In the last show that I had seen, he figures out that he has some of Vecna's powers and he can do supernatural type things.
Yeah.
And then apparently, because of that mind meld superpower adoption thing, Vecna also knows all of his secrets.
Yes.
And so that if in their final plan where they're doing the big thing, he's like, by the way, Vecna knows this and could use it against me, so I have to tell all of you.
Yes.
The thing everyone in the world already knew.
Yes.
I'm super flaming.
I want to address like the Steelman position for why they did this after we see, because you're right, like they supposedly have a relevant reason for doing this, but I don't think even that holds up to. Well, that
it could have literally just been like, you guys know, right? And they'd be like, yeah, we all know.
That whole point withstands about as much scrutiny as the Somali Daycare Center, the Quality Leering Center. But I can't show you a lot of the moment because, of course, copyright reasons on YouTube and elsewhere. But to simplify the context, again, everybody's facing the apocalypse. They're all planning their response to take out the evil villain. And Will says, hey, guys, wait, it's very important that you all know that I like dick. Or the phrasing that he instead uses, which is maybe even more cringe, I don't like girls.
I don't like girls. I mean, I do, just not like you guys do.
Who the fuck made this shit up?
Okay. Then everyone is gathered around and they all individually voice their approval and they join a group hug in celebration of the homosexuality.
And you'll never lose me. Or me. Or me. Or me.
Or me. Or me.
And they did this moment of homosexual appreciation in 1980s rural Indiana. And I forget who had tweeted this. I wish I could give him credit, but I saw it in the last few days. Something like, man, it's crazy how in a show about interdimensional monsters, the most unrealistic thing about Stranger Things is that there are two gays in the same friend group in 1980s rural Indiana. Because Will Byers isn't the only one. He gets groomed and counseled by a lesbian. Well,
that's what I was going to say. Like, because I thought, because they had brought in Robin, who is the other gay character, and done the gay thing in like season 2 or season 3. And I was like, okay, they got their gay quota. And more, but that's where it's. I think it was in episode 1 or 2 of this season where she's counseling him. She's like, "Your true power will come from
another man's penis,
from the poopy dick."
I forgot. That was the other. That was the other. This is the other summary of the season. It's it all leads up to Will saying, "I like poop on my pee-pee." That's the major important plot point that you may have missed if you haven't watched Stranger Things recently. But that's the thing. Okay, so I want to emphasize, like, no reasonable person is honestly shocked that Netflix gayed a thing because Netflix has been in the business of gaying everything for years now. The thing about this is it's just so over the top, like so ridiculously over the top. It's hard to believe that people took this seriously. And as you mentioned, number one, it's over the top because Will's character is already known to be gay. It's strongly implied previously through this season in several annoying conversations with the lesbian and in the whole series prior.
Like since the first season 1 was like, he's definitely gay for that other kid.
Yes.
Like, there was nobody wondered about
the fact that they're
all.
like the fact that he says it and then they're all supposed to be surprised by this realization is itself preposterous.
Yeah. I almost feel like it was self-sabotage. Like some higher up was like, "Okay, you got to gay this shit," and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna really gay it," and he's like, "Just gay it." They're like, "Okay, we're gonna so gay it that you're gonna regret. I'm trying to figure out how to fit the word gay into regret.
That's a tough one.
Regret
Good luck.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. So it's not just that everybody already knew and how ridiculously over the top it was. It's the timing of it in the story. Again, let's say that you really want to gay it, or that the character development demands that Will is gay and we're going to celebrate his bravery. I get it. As I'll mention, supposedly there's a reason why he had to do this before the final battle. How about just his mom and Mike, his friend, who he is attracted to apparently? The thing about it is, like, all these characters, as you saw there, these are like all the good guy characters, some of whom almost never interact with Will.
This is like the only time we've seen all of them in a room together.
Yes.
In like the entire series.
They all gather,
like that's the thing, like they couldn't like do something like they're. I will forgive it. I think it was, I forget what show I was talking about. I was talking with my son and I was like, because they have this gay character, but they didn't make it gay. And he's like, yeah, okay. So you're not like, you don't hate gays, you just hate cringe. And I was like, yeah. And then like this, like you couldn't come up with like a clever way to do something. It's fine. Make it interesting.
And
but it's just like an intervention, like a
reverse intervention where they clap for you.
Stop being gay.
Yes. And so it takes place, again, they're like battle planning for the apocalypse. So how could this possibly be the most important thing that everybody has to pay attention to? But it's not just that he takes their attention and they all agree to gather around for this. Everybody has a role in fighting the guy who's going to destroy the world. How is it possible that they all, I had some very important tasks that I needed to complete, before the world might possibly end. But I heard that Will might be a homosexual, so I need to stop what I'm doing in preparation for this epic battle. The fate of the world depends on, and I will go, listen to what he has to say.
Have you seen the episode?
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
So what was the setup? Like, why were they all together?
They were all together because they have the whole premise. The radio station. Steve has this grand plan because Vecna's trying to merge. There's like the upside down is not actually another dimension. It's a bridge between worlds. There's like the what do they call it? They don't call it like the underworld. It's the abyss. The abyss is nothing but chaos.
There's a new dimension.
And Vecna is connecting the world of chaos and evil with the earthly world, and the upside down is the bridge.
He's connecting Minnesota.
Yes, he's bringing Minnesota into. So they're like coming together in space time or whatever, and so they need a way to intervene with the abyss world before it actually collides with the real world. So they're going to use the radio tower and climb up there and stop this merger, this collision before it happens. So they're all gathered round at the radio station to do their individual parts to stop this. And Will has this sudden realization that before they go, he has to tell his mom that he's gay, but then Mike overhears, and then suddenly everybody has to gather around and stop what they're doing, even though the abyss world is coming to collide with the real world.
Literally that imminent. Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And so everybody gathers around except, and did you notice this? Are you familiar with the character Erica, Lucas's little sister? The little black girl who's very sassy.
Yeah. She's really annoying. Yeah.
Why wasn't she there?
I don't know. How could she not be there?
The only reason everybody's there except Erica, and Erica is known on the show for being very blunt in telling.
She would have been like, "Shut up, fag."
That's some gay shit. You could hear her.
See, that would have just put that in there.
Yeah,
and it would have made it like okay, like her being stereotypically black would have been perfect.
But they couldn't do it because they know it like doesn't fit her character, or that like comedy was not allowed here or something. I mean, even like you're saying, if they had just
it has to be reverent. Like you can't. Yeah. It's just this is the new God. This is what we worship. You cannot criticize it. And it's from someone who grew up. There was about a 5 to 10 year period in my childhood where I was only allowed to watch Christian films.
This is why
not good. And this reminds me, like I was like, why are you making me watch this schlock?
Yeah, this is why.
And well, like this is why. But it's the same now. I'm watching whatever the hell religion this is films.
And
they're just as bad as like what was the ones there was like about the rapture. So all these movies.
I don't know.
Left Behind, I believe the series was called. Scarred me for life.
Well, here's another layer of the absurdity. According to the actor who plays Will, Noah Schnapp, who himself came out as gay in 2023, the entire cast and crew spent 12 hours filming this scene. And the Duffer Brothers, who created and wrote the show, they say they spent more time writing this scene than any other in the season, which is preposterous, considering how poorly written
sign.
It is. Like, hey guys, I'm gay. Wow, awesome. He's gay.
No, Matt. No. What he actually said was, I don't like girls.
Yes.
Wait, not like you like girls.
Yeah.
No, I do like girls. Wait, now I forget what it was.
Yeah, it was, I don't like girls. Well, I do, just not like you do.
Half the people in that room were girls. So is he implying that they're all gay?
I don't know. But I want to address that Steelman point, or try to consider it in context, because even there I think it fails wildly. But your point on how it fits the plot, not the point that you necessarily agree with, but how it is explained to fit the plot. The idea is that Vecna, the evil guy, the main antagonist of the show, he is going to exploit Will's fear because they interact with each other telepathically or mentally. And so Will's fear can be used against him, and Vecna's going to do that. And so to fight effectively in the final battle, Will needs to overcome his fear, and there's nothing he fears more than coming out as gay. He fears that even more than the monster trying to take over the world.
Because it's the 80s.
Even though... If they all just said, "Shut up, faggot, you're off the team."
It's not cringe and overdone to hell, and it's not because it's not 2026 in their world. It's the 80s. No one's ever come out as gay before. This is actually monumental and groundbreaking.
Yeah, well, even if we accept this explanation, it means that the bad guy, Vecna, despite all his
superpowers, also gay, by the way, very gay.
I think he might be. I think that
very gay.
Okay, despite all his supernatural powers, he can move worlds effectively, but he has the Force like a Jedi. He breaks people's legs by force choking them and all that. Mm-hmm. His most powerful weapon when it comes down to taking over the world is weaponizing homophobia. Yeah. Like, I will tell your friends you're a faggot. That's his superpower.
There you go. Maybe it is secret based.
I'm telling you, there's more to it. I'll get to that in a second. But even in context, that's a preposterous premise. I can move worlds. I'm interdimensional. I have the Force, but nothing is more powerful than me outing you as gay to your friends. And in that context, where there's a guy who has godlike powers, supernatural powers, why would your primary fear be, oh man, I might be outed as gay, if the alternative is he's going to destroy the entire world? Nobody can be homophobic if they're all murdered by this guy. So I'd rather live in a world where there's a little bit of homophobia than everyone be extinct.
It's like, you all might die, but I got to get this off my chest. It's priorities here.
I don't know. I want to get to some alternate endings, some deleted scenes. I offer you this one for your consideration. Part of the plot, of course, is that Will is not just gay, but that he's secretly attracted to his best friend, Mike. And Mike has his own romantic relationship in the show with Eleven, who's the superpower girl who fights the evil monsters. But in the show, Mike responded positively, like everybody did. Like, he supports Will. Let's gather around and hug. He supports his friend. People may have missed the extended cut, because there was a deleted scene where Mike was a little bit less supportive of what Will had to say.
I'm not gay. That's
That was the actor who plays Will a little earlier in his acting career. But I really want to thank him for his submission to the soundboard.
I'm not gay.
Appreciate that. But okay, so here's my case for maybe being actually based. Or maybe I'm interpreting this all wrong, and there are some maybe not as pro-gay messages here. You tell me if you buy any of this. But first of all, like, there are 11 noticed. Let's put it. People were circulating this clip. There's an 11 flashback. Again, she's the girl who's captured. She has all these superpowers. She's going to fight the evil guy, Millie Bobby Brown, or whatever her name is with the buzz cut. There's a flashback in season 4 where she's.
You got it right, Matt.
What?
Her name.
What about it? Did I say it wrong?
No, you got it right.
Yeah, Millie Bobby. Bobby
Which
Millie.
I was whose name isn't Bobby Brown, like the rapper from the Whitney Houston?
Yeah.
How do you end up with the last name Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
I don't know. Very strange. I never got that. I was like, is she Bobby Brown's kid? I'm like, no, she's some British kid with the last name Bobby Brown.
Oh, is she British?
Sorry.
I didn't even know.
Tangent. Yeah. No,
But,
she's like straight up bad, trashy accent, lots of makeup, really British.
Here is an 11 flashback from season 4. She's captive in this government facility. She sees a drawing of the rainbow in her captivity, and she's clearly very troubled by it. Ooh, how horrifying. She's got tears coming down her face because of what she's about to be indoctrinated into. But seriously, okay, think about the plot here, because you go back to season 1 and you have Will Byers, the kid who's come out as gay here. He's starting from the start of the story in 2016 when he's much younger. He has a single mom, Winona Ryder, and he gets abducted by the forces of evil. And then he's held captive and has this quasi-phallic Vecna vine inserted into his mouth, hooked up to his face, however you want to characterize it.
I get where you're going here, Matt.
Then he turns gay.
No patterns. I do not. There's no pat. This is not Minnesota. There are no patterns.
As Father Guy Everyman asks in this viral tweet this week, raped by Vecna, becomes gay. What did Stranger Things mean by this? Are they saying that boys with single moms who are abused or preyed upon by bad forces will is that how the gays become gay? Is that what Stranger Things? I thought it was Will born this way, or did Vecna make him this way? Is the question that Stranger Things presents, intentionally or inadvertently. What's your take on that?
The truth always wants to come out. I think I'm on board. Unintentionally super based.
If it's whatever the intent was, it's clearly the plot pattern of the show. And so I would love to hear the show writers sit around and discuss that. What did they mean by that? Why was it designed that way?
Yeah, men, guard your boys.
Yeah. But you know, a lot of criticism of this ending, and again, it's not the final ending, but it's sort of the end before the final battle here. But thanks to the modern technologies, modern techniques with AI, or just basic video editing, the good news is there is no shortage of alternate endings or fixes on X this week. And so whatever concern you might have with this ending, there is a potential alternate ending for you. Now, perhaps you just think the ending is out of place for the reasons I was discussing. Like, it might not even be the gay thing. It's just clearly... Will, you being gay is of secondary importance to, I don't know, the apocalypse. So just maybe maybe the ending would have been a little bit better if Will's mom, Joyce, had just offered him some wisdom she previously expressed in the show.
I don't like girls.
The world is ending.
Bingo.
Could have done it that way. That one from Caesar Wrestling on X. Now, maybe you think, again, it's like it's not even a gay thing. Will coming out is fine, but the reaction and the approval from his friends is out of place. Well, if you would have preferred a more traditionally 80s reaction, here's one fixed by Tony Soprano.
I don't like girls.
He's a fag.
Okay, is that one work for you? Is the ending acceptable that way?
It was an improvement.
Okay, that one's from Tony Michael on X. Now, maybe you prefer another direction entirely. Maybe it would have worked if Will had just expressed more traditional sexual urges of a boy or a young man of his age. Here is Will describing what kind of women he likes at the end of the world.
I like bombshell blondes, real centerfold types, double Ds, or I'm out.
But Hopper likes me fine, and I'm brunette and flat as a board.
Gross, Mom. bleach your hair, get implants. It's the 1980s. Oh yeah, player. I knew you got that dog in you, for real. Yeah, if she isn't a thin, busty platinum in a string bikini, Will buyers don't want none. Fine. More big booty Latinas for the rest of us.
The strangest thing of all is for a man to be sexually attracted to other men.
Bingo.
I like that. You know, the thing is, when I talk about how ridiculous, that one's from Huff on Huff for Congress on X, by the way. You talk about how ridiculous the actual ending is. Is that really that much more ridiculous than the real ending?
Yeah, no, that was less ridiculous. Like that's how it actually go. You know, we're soon, Matt. We're like 5 years away, and they're gonna actually start writing shows like the way that people are.
I really like this one. If you're gonna go with the gay storyline, maybe just like a better explanation of the connection between being gay and how that assists with the main point of defeating the villain. Maybe that would have worked a little bit better. Here is another one in service to that idea.
Hi, everyone. I am a gay homosexual.
How is telling us this going to help us beat Vecna?
Gonna stick my stranger thing in Vecna's upside down until he gets AIDS. Fabulous!
Okay.
They could get gayer. I'm waiting for the next episode. Vecna will come out, and then Vecna and this kid will have their union. Vecna will be forgiven. Will realize he's actually a good guy, and 11, who's straight, she corrupted Vecna, and there you go.
Well,
world saved.
If they go all in and Will gives Vecna AIDS, I will forgive this particular plot point.
AIDS, the Gades is a superpower after all.
That one was also from Huff on X, and also thanks to Huff for the contribution to the soundboard.
I am a gay homosexual.
I like that one. Or maybe. Maybe the original didn't go far enough in being explicitly gay. Maybe that's your criticism. Maybe you want it even gayer in the most graphic terms possible. Now, this is the option that Mark found. If that is your criticism,
if you have kids,
it's gayer to get fucked than to be the one fucking. But I totally disagree. Like, to me, it feels gayer to risk getting poop on my dick than it does to, like, risk putting my poop on someone else's. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Had not seen that one until you sent it to me earlier today.
I'm here for the gems, Matt.
Prompt Pirate on X. And I like the decorations at the Will is Gay party. That was the cowboy hat, the rainbow cowboy hat. And it is actually a very interesting philosophical component that the original did not consider. Now,
the best comment I saw was that, like Jesus said, it is better to give than to receive. Spirit of Christmas.
I of course can't pretend to be a stranger to debates about what's gayer, given the state of the chat and the various iterations of this show. So that has happened frequently. I've just never considered that what may make it more or less gay is yours on someone else's or someone else's
that was
on
wrong.
yours.
Jesus was wrong. It's better to receive.
That's what Will is saying.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I wouldn't put Will above Jesus Christ in wisdom, but I don't know. He's got a counter case, I guess.
He's not. I mean, it's convincing.
Well, if there is anything encouraging here beyond the AI fixes for the show's ending, the audience is not appreciating what has happened with Stranger Things. The Rotten Tomatoes score, the audience score, has plummeted. According to the Forbes reporting here, it was at 66%, but that was at the time of the report's publication. It's now down to 58%, and that's for season 5. That is relative to audience scores for seasons 1 through 4 that were up in the 90% plus range. Then on IMDb, you have this episode in particular, this I'm Gay episode, is the second lowest scoring episode, according to the audience reviews, in the history of the show, after there was one show, the Lost Sister episode in season 2, that got a 6 out of 10. But this is at 6.5 out of 10. And the hilarious thing about the coverage is it all acts like it's a mystery why people are hating this. The Forbes coverage, why are people hating this? Oh, just so many reasons, such as, a bunch of nonsense. Like, okay, yeah, these things did kind of suck. I get it. But, oh, yeah, like 10 things. And then also like the show forced Will to finally come out as gay in front of an audience of no less than 12 people, some of whom didn't even know him. Right. Yeah. That's maybe a consideration. The Screen Rant article here, again, talking about the fact that the audience is hating this. The reasons for the more negative reception are varied. And then it doesn't even talk about the cringe gay scene. Okay. They're
levels of gay. There are levels of gay why the show was not embraced.
Yeah. They're not
adoring audience.
They're not varied. It's one reason, and that's because the show was bizarrely, ridiculously, and to an insanely cringy degree, gay. Needlessly gay.
But this is my thing, because I haven't seen it yet. I don't know that. It could have sucked for other reasons as well. It
kind of does. There is truth to there are other things that there's a criticism in here that the show is just very safe, and that it doesn't take a lot of risks in doing things that are unexpected, or it's kind of predictable. And I even though I like the Stranger Things franchise, I like the story. There's a reason I'm watching the final season. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Well, I'd mentioned, I think before the show, because I loved it up till this point, except for season 3, I believe. It was the one with the brother who like got possessed, and then the Vecna was possessing a bunch of other people. It was just weak. But then this one where they like taped over the hole in the universe, and then they started everything from scratch again with like there was a lot of critiques of this season. Robin is like really special now for no reason other than she was
her lesbian
other gay character, and like she was already having conversations with him that were like super gay. And so this episode could suck for many reasons, because they've been falling off hard from what I've seen. There was nothing. The only kind of cool thing was that he got powers, and it was after the Demogorgons, which for anyone who doesn't know, there's like these demon dog animal flower type spirit creatures that can take out like 50 well-trained Marines with assault weapons, and also not take on like one woman by herself with a broken wine bottle. So they're really struggling with the power levels of the bad guys.
To be fair, the Demogorgon did make it through the mom to get to Holly and abduct her. But yeah, she put up a good fight. You know what? Speaking of that point, the scene there where the Demogorgon breaks in to abduct Holly and nearly kills the Wheeler mom. Did you notice the dad got presumably killed in that fight and nobody gives a shit?
Yeah,
he just
just dead. Yeah.
Nobody fucking cares about him.
I don't even remember. I just remember, he's dead now.
Yeah, he's dead. Like they never mention him. They never ask if he's okay. The daughter got abducted, and they care about her, obviously. But
no, it's just, he's dads. That's what they're for. They're
disposable
men in war, as Hillary Clinton said. It's the women and children who suffer the most when their husbands get killed. Yeah.
Well, they're not. They don't seem to suffer much because they don't care. I never heard him mentioned once. Nobody is worried about him at all. So
but wasn't there another scene with a Demogorgon with Will's mom as well, and she like fought him off?
Yes, yeah, there was
barn, I think.
Yeah, but at that point, the whole point there was Will is like in the mind that controls the Demogorgon. So when he saw his mom, he was like able to intervene or something. So Will was like partially in control at that point, which is why it didn't kill her, I guess.
Okay,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm getting turned off with the Demogorgon villain strengths.
Yeah. That's all I got on Stranger Things. If you want to see how gay it can still become, you can tune in Thursday, and it'll be out the final battle, the 2-hour final battle will be out there. You can find out if Vecna gets AIDS.
I was so into Thursday. This. I was going to go. I found out that they're playing it in theaters here.
They are.
And it was like $11, and you got $11 towards concessions.
Wow.
So basically free. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. I enjoyed the show so much up to this part.
Are you going to go? Are you going to do the theater thing?
No, it was sold out in like 5 minutes.
Wow. I did look when they made that announcement, and the closest theater is in Billings, which is 2 hours away, and I ain't driving for that. And I especially wouldn't. I feel guilty enough about even watching it at all at this point. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I'm definitely not going to a theater.
Because it was that good. It was worth watching until now. I'm very disappointed.
Well,
again, yeah.
Try to keep up with the cultural
we can't
relevance
have nice
here.
Things. Yeah.
Anyway, appreciate everybody who cares about Stranger Things indulging in this segment here. I know it went on for a while, and for most of you who don't give a shit, that's why you can scrub forward in this episode or totally tune out entirely. Anyway, back to our usual programming. It's time for Hoax Hate.
Now, the nobody saw it happen, but it's totally a product of Trump's America hoax hate crime of the week.
Ah, shit, it's backwards. You think they'll notice?
This is a new entry in the list of criminal swastikas. I should have done a better look earlier and take note if they are in fact backward or not. I don't know. They might be. But in Petaluma, California, this is north of San Francisco, 20-year-old Corey Newman has been arrested for vandalism. He drew swastikas on a car, and when I first saw this story, I assumed it would be the traditional medium of spray paint, or maybe you keyed swastikas into the car or something like that. But no, as described by the victim, Corey Newman drew swastikas and wrote racial slurs in the dust on this car.
Why do people think that vandalizing vehicles with racial slurs is okay? Why do kids think that that is okay? Because I'm pretty sure it was some kids who did this. A lot of y'all don't understand that racism, this shit is not a game. I've been a victim of it my whole life. 41 years old, black man, living in Sonoma County. And I've been here for about 4 or 5 years, and I've had racial experiences happen to me 3 or 4 times. When we find out who's done it, I'll press charges, obviously, because you got to learn a lesson.
Stop being such a pussy.
So the victim here is a basketball coach and former Harlem Globetrotter William Bullard. And at first I thought this guy's car was one of several hit indiscriminately, like we were talking about earlier with the violence in Nigeria. But it's a one car. It was only his car hit. Well, it was at a parking garage in Petaluma. And originally they didn't find who did this, so they had no suspect. But you look at this prior reporting from the San Francisco Chronicle, and it says Petaluma Police Lieutenant Silverio Rivera told the Chronicle that an investigation into the incident was suspended after officers were unable to gather any evidence from the scene. The report first came in through the department's online reporting system. So Harlem Globetrotter basketball guy made a report to the police department in Petaluma. Someone drew swastikas in the dust on my my rear glass.
What was the racist part? Clean me?
I can't even see what it says, but there were swastikas in there and maybe an N-word. I don't know. But he files a report online. Officers could not determine exactly where the crime happened after speaking with the person who made the report. Again, the basketball guy. So the original report was, we're not investigating this because it doesn't matter. And also there's not even any evidence that we can find to identify who did this. It supposedly happened in that parking garage. Police are saying there's no evidence for it. Then all of a sudden there was evidence for it, because I'm thinking, well, how was the suspect identified if that's what they said previously? Well, they identified him after reviewing the garage's surveillance footage. But earlier they were saying well, we don't have any evidence from the scene at all to even care about this. Where did the surveillance footage come from? I would not. I need to know what the reporting needs to clarify. Is there a relationship between this Harlem Globetrotter William Bullard and Corey Newman, 20 years old, the guy who did? I assume there's a reason he picked out this particular car in the Petaluma parking garage. Is it possible that these two know each other, say through basketball together or something like that? And this guy maybe made a poor taste joke on Bullard's car, or there's something piecing this together that we're not understanding. But this guy is now charged with vandalism, booked in the Sonoma County Jail. commission of a hate crime and vandalism because he ran his finger on the glass gently in the wrong shape.
Well, that's how could it even be racist or targeted if it's random? And if it's not random, then it's personal.
Yeah.
But so this is,
as it's phrased here in local,
I always feel like we're being lied to, man.
Local
like
coverage.
Something.
Newman allegedly committed the crime by drawing on the dusty SUV with his finger.
But what did he draw? Like, unless he said like
swastika.
Oh, it was a swastika. Oh, okay.
That's what they say. I can pull.
But what if it was a black kid? Like, they would have had to know who did it in order to know if it was racist.
I wouldn't be surprised if Corey Newman is black, like a basketball friend of his.
Right?
We don't know who this guy
Corey
is.
Newman, that's a racially ambiguous name.
Yeah. Who knows? It's not like El Haji. Well, that's also racially ambiguous, but
Yeah.
for other reasons.
Let's go with Patel.
Another one, yeah. Anyway, I need to know more information about this, but we're probably not going to get any, and that seems to be the point. So I was doing the news rounds because every week I'm gathering cases of hoax hate for chronicling on this stream. And as you'd expect, not a lot in the news generally over the Christmas holiday and into the new year. I assume the hate hoaxers are aware that not a lot of people are paying attention to the news at this time of year, so they take a break from their hoaxes as well. But when I was browsing the news for hoax hate cases, I ran into this story of real hate. At least it looks like real hate. And I thought, this is not funny at all. No one should do this. But in West Palm Beach, Florida, a presumably Muslim driver attempted to run over members of a local gay running club after he says one member made some sort of advance or pass at him.
This is where the chaotic incident happened. There used to be tire tracks right here where police say a guy in a vehicle tried to run over a group of LGBTQ runners. They've replaced those tire tracks now with fresh sod, and the tire tracks are gone. 43-year-old Ihab Mustafa El Mahmoud of Mems, Florida, was in a courtroom in West Palm Beach Wednesday,
ambiguous.
and his attorney asked the judge to set a bond amount so he could potentially be released. The terrifying incident was caught on cell phone video. West Palm Beach police say November 24th, shortly after 8 in the evening, El Mahmoud tried to run over members of a local LGBTQ running club who had gathered at Howard Park near the Palm Beach County Convention Center to go for a night run. Runners had to scramble to get out of the way, and some hid behind large trees.
It was a shock. I was in shock as it was happening. It seemed like it wasn't real.
A West Palm Beach police detective who questioned El Mahmoud says El Mahmoud felt offended that a man in the running group made a sexual advance towards him, and he was disgusted that a man in the group was wearing pink leotards. The police detective says El Mahmoud said if given the opportunity, he would do this again. Bingo. The prosecutor told the judge El Mahmoud was clearly aware of what he had done after he drove toward the runners because he tried to evade capture by pulling into a residential complex where he did not live and then proceeded to take the license plate off his vehicle.
Okay. He can stay.
Speaking of, you said not ambiguous, but this is so we had El Haji earlier, and I said, it sounds like a Hispanic jihadi. This guy's name is not Al Mahmoud, A-L. It's El Mahmoud, E-L, like, the Spanish
Isn't that feminine
prefix.
for Al Mahmoud?
I don't know, but now I'm noticing these like, Arab or whatever, however you would classify this name, where I'd usually think of Al Muhammad or whatever. Now, El, is that a thing? Maybe I just haven't seen that, but is that a thing in
I don't
the
know
naming?
I don't know enough about Arabic to know. It could be a gender thing. It could be El. I mean, yeah, El. Isn't that like an Israeli airplane?
I don't know. I don't know if those are interchangeable or if
and Al's.
I don't know.
Yeah, not sure.
But
Mahmoud is pretty specific. I'm going to go with knowing what that one is. But okay, we got one good Muslim.
let him drive a California. Please give him a CDL immediately and let him drive as much as he wants. But if I understand correctly,
only around the parks.
No, Judge, you don't understand. They made a pass at me, so that's part of his defense. But it's not. They made a pass at me, and I saw some guy wearing pink leotards.
He's wearing pink.
Come on.
But then he was also like, he got a good run at them. Like they weren't close.
He was going fast.
And someone was videotaping prior to that. So
yeah.
Again, there's a lot of context here that I'm like, did they a mile back pass him and then he waited for them and then they were in the park? And
there must have been some interaction. Yeah. And
I feel like there might be some hidden context here.
Yeah.
Maybe with the guy in the pink leotards. Mr. El Mahmoud doesn't want something getting out.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
He like the pink leotard guy is the Vecna to his will. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a history.
That I hadn't considered.
It's like, I'm going to take out all of you guys.
That would explain, because I understand that the gay lifestyle is not popular in parts of the world where El Mahmoud is likely
this
from.
This is like the black guys killing trannies after they take them out back.
But to your point, that the speed at which he's driving that Bronco through the park implies he has concern beyond just general dislike for homosexuality. And we know that there was some sort of interaction between them prior, because it's not just that El Mahmoud says that guy made a pass at me. According to the coverage here in local CBS, witnesses say El Mahmoud was visibly upset after a member of the group made a passing comment and he accelerated at the runners. So that I take that to mean witnesses confirm some sort of gay interaction between them prior.
There you go.
He didn't make that up.
I'm with you on that. And then he got in his car and they went to the park. And then
it may be.
Said, I'm going to take you guys out.
He is currently held without bond.
They just took out the one sentence that said, at the gay club. All this.
Yeah, where were they pre-gaming their gay run? This club is so bizarre too if you look at it. The guy had a t-shirt. I wonder if there's a photo here at all. No, that's just the speeding Bronco. What else I got? The guy doesn't let me cycle the photos. I guess not. I don't know. But view all 5. I don't know. I won't bring up the other ones. But the guy who's the guy named what was his name in the video report there? It was Rudolph Galindo, who says he was very afraid. If you caught his shirt, he even had a shirt that says the Gay Night Runners Club or something. It's not just a gay running club. It's that they run at night specifically, which I don't know. I mean, I guess I've never heard of people who run at night only, and they're organized that way.
And wear shirts.
Yeah. They have a shirt
really
budget.
It's really gay, man. This is like next level gay. They should get a spot on Stranger Things.
Yeah, well, they could run supplies in the coming gay war with Vecna for sure.
Yeah.
That was the other thing that people don't like about the Stranger Things finale, and I also share. Do you remember back in the day when the Upside Down was scary and Will was like freezing down there?
Have an army base inside of it.
And now they just go down there and just hang out, and it's like it's just normal, to the point that Robin is down there saying, hey, is it safe to breathe this stuff in here? And they say, I don't know, probably, I guess. I don't know. It's like a joke that they're just hanging out and not caring. But, I got a message from, this is clarification from producer Tim on the L and Al. L in Arabic means the before the last name. It means of the or member of the. So I don't know if L and Al are interchangeable, but they probably are similar.
That didn't answer our question, did it?
Yeah, Tim.
Come on, Tim. Maybe the Duffer Brothers got hired to make the next Star Wars film.
They're the leading candidates at this point, I would say. Yeah, this is way worse than whatever the hell happened in the second movie in the newest trilogy, with Laura Dern and her purple hair and all that. But El Mahmoud currently held without bond. The judge did not agree to let him go. His lawyer tried to get him out, saying, okay, he's not a risk to the community if you don't let him drive anymore. But the judge said, nope, he's staying in jail. And so he faces serious prison time for his Bronco attempt on the lives of local gays in the running club.
That's did he like, because like you think it'd be a really easy thing. Like I was drunk or I didn't know where I was going. I accidentally drove into a park, but he was like, no, I wanted to get the fag in the pink pants.
That's what he says. And according to police, he said, I would do it again if given the chance. Okay. I don't think he said that in court, but he's alleged to have said that to police officers when he was arrested.
So yeah, I think you missed the mark on the hoax here. I think like,
I'm not calling this a hoax.
Gay.
Yeah.
I thought this was hoax hate.
No, I was saying that when I surveyed for hoaxes, I didn't see a lot because the hoaxers, I think, take this week off too. But I found this story to be credible, real hate, so it was worthy of discussion. Yeah.
This is love hate.
Yeah, this is a love crime gone wrong. Yeah,
I'm calling it.
Anyway, all right, we have to get back into our super chats, and we'll call it a night. Let me find where we left off. Okay, Joshua Sibio. Hey, Matt, haven't watched in a while, but it's nice to be back. Welcome back. You're doing an excellent job as always. Also, this Christmas, let's not forget what the paper tail on a Hershey's Kiss is called. Well, first of all, thank you for your kindness and support for the show.
We love you. You're very special.
Isn't it like, is it sound like penis or is it an N-word or it's something vulgar? Paper on a Hershey's Kiss. Plume flag?
Tail.
That's right. The official term is a niggly wiggly. Niggly wiggly. Yeah.
Hard Y on that one.
Hard Y, yeah.
The N-word. You know what the N-word is, right?
Niggly wiggly. Thank you for that reminder. Appreciate that. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Joshua. Risen Victory. I hear a tale that Tim Walz intentionally used COVID money to put tampons into men's bathrooms so that he could soak them in vodka to butt chug alcohol so that his wife wouldn't find out he fell off the wagon. That's a very complicated scheme for Mr. Walz. Thank you, Risen Victory, for your support for the show.
I am not going to be niggardly.
Really appreciate that. COVID money to put tampons.
It would be the smartest thing Tim Walz has ever done.
COVID money to put tampons into the men's bathroom so he could soak them in vodka to butt chug alcohol so that his wife wouldn't find out he fell off the wagon.
I'm just going with butt chug. I love it. Yes.
That's the only thing. The only thing unrealistic about that is the scam is just too involved. Like that's too many steps for the scam. They're usually more simple.
Just be like, give me the gay sex. There's no 2 steps.
And I demand to be paid with state funds for it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Risen Victory. Long Dong John, I hope Trump's strike didn't hit the Nigerian prince. He promised me a lot of money in exchange for my bank account password. I know you and I both, I guess, struck it rich from that Nigerian prince. I've been waiting for my check in the mail from him for some time. Eventually it's coming here, I think.
Mm-hmm. Or they do delayed postage. You'll get it.
Let's see. Producer Tim, after the Bondi, so this is not Pam Bondi, this is Bondi, as in Bondi Beach in Australia. After the mass shooting we had, there has been an advertisement playing all the time about how Aussies must reject all hate, including Islamophobia. Motherfuckers, the Jews here have a good reason to fear Islam right now. Yeah, it's it's the Norm Macdonald bit where he said, the worst thing about a crazy Islamic terror attack is really all the Islamophobia that would follow.
Yeah, it's the blowback on the poor Muslims.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Nick Fuentes Piers Morgan interview?
I haven't seen it. No, I mean I've seen. I know there are clips circulating, but I haven't watched it in full or anything. Yeah,
yeah, it was good. It reminded because there's a guy in the UK, a Jewish lord, who came out to condemn Fuentes after that, and then this was right before the Bondi massacre, and then it was like no
Bondi.
London,
Don't confuse it with
Bondi. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then immediately after, it was like before the Bondi massacre, was like London's the safest city in the world, and there's no Muslim problem or anything. And then some Jews got shot in Australia, and he's like, London's a shithole. We got to get rid of the Muslims.
Okay. Very quick switch then. The only thing I saw out of that interview was Pierce trying to own Nick Fuentes for being a virgin.
Tampons,
from a Catholic perspective, I guess. I don't know. But
well,
okay.
and apparently tampons aren't gross.
That was part of the discussion.
Pierce. Yeah, that's what it either preceded or came after the virgin discussion, but like it's the best clip because Pierce is like, "Well, you think tampons are gross?" And Nick was like, "Yeah."
Well, yeah. I mean, do you think
he goes, "What are you a virgin?" He's like, "What are we doing?"
That was the context for how it came up.
I think so.
Yeah, I also think used toilet paper is gross, but I understand it has a function that's necessary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like bandages.
Fingernail clippings are gross to you?
Floating in a pool and just be like, yum.
This is like just because things are natural doesn't mean that they're not gross, you know.
Don't ask Pierce about that, because anything that comes from a woman is amazing, apparently.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm curious what he does with those used tampons then, but I guess I'll have to wait to find out. Taker 610, my bachelor's degree program was called Information Systems, which was often called ISIS, as in ISYS for short. We never got bombed by Trump, though, thankfully. There was a company, and thank you, Taker. There's a company called ISIS. Yeah. Really, really rough from a branding perspective if you had a successful company prior to, say, 2015 that was called ISIS, because you really had to scramble to fix that. Likewise, I was watching the last night, speaking of, indefensible gay things that I watch and can't quit, the NFL. I was watching Packers Ravens last night, and there was now you've had enough.
You had me at Packers.
Well, what do they pack? But the game was on, and it was a feed of local Baltimore TV, and apparently at WBAL News in Baltimore, there is a sportscaster named Jerry Sandusky. Tune in for Jerry Sandusky's analysis. I thought, what the hell did you say?
I have to stack these things now. So you have Jerry Sandusky packing balls at the Packers game,
analyzing the Packers game. Yeah.
And there was one more in there. Sorry.
And I looked it up, and it's true, but he's Jerry with a G, and apparently he's been caused great distress by the fact that he's named Jerry Sandusky. Apparently he was successful before, Jerry Sandusky at Penn State was exposed for raping a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
But that's, the company name, I know that like your company history and what you've built matters, and I get all that. And I would hesitate to rename my company, even though I've renamed stuff I've done a million times over the course of my work on the internet. But I get like why you might want to maintain a brand. The thing is, if your name is that, like Jerry Sandusky, it's like you have to change your name, but it also feels wrong. Like you're betraying your family and the history of all. Like you're betraying your parents and the once honored Sandusky name. I actually feel really bad for a guy like that who's in the public eye.
Yeah. Well, there's
no good solution.
There are no more Hitlers.
Except for that one guy. There is an Adolf Hitler in Africa who was a politician.
It's Africa.
Yeah, I mean, anything goes.
But there's a real estate agent just up the street here named Epstein. You got
Jeffrey. There is another Jeffrey Epstein also, Dr. Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. No,
that's a rough one.
Just the other one. There's kids' friends who are Rothschilds. Anyone who's gone down the conspiracy, it's like you gotta.
There are other Bin Ladens out there too.
Noor Bin Laden had followed me on Twitter, formerly known as X.
She I don't know if she's still on, but she's been on my friend Frank's show a lot. Over the years. Yeah.
So you can redeem your family name. Hey,
that's true.
You based Hitlers. You got to get out there and start make that name great again.
Now Tortuga is clarifying, not a whole book, just read a book every day. Okay, so you're not saying complete the book. Misunderstood, I guess.
Oh, just read any of a book.
So could it be a word in the book or just okay, but more realistic.
So the correct term for that is open book.
Yes. Yes. But all right, thank you for the clarification, and thank you for supporting the show. Happy New Year, Tortuga. Joshy boy, Mark used to be the Canadian version of Giga Chad. Now I didn't know that entire history of like of model Mark. What was can I ask like what your biggest gig was? You don't have to reveal personal information.
I did a Kohl's department stores TV commercial. They flew me to Vancouver.
TV.
Put me in all my biggest gigs were stuff that because in modeling what you want is portfolio. So you get what's called a tear sheet. So if you have an advertisement in a magazine, you can tear it out, put it in your book. But most of my biggest stuff was for television and played in places that I don't even have see the television. So I never saw most of them. But the biggest one was Kohl's department store campaign.
Did you decide one day I want to be a model, or were you how did you enter that line of work?
No, I decided when I was like 14. I was like, I want to do that because you could travel and you get paid well.
Yeah.
And I have blessed genetics. I blonde hair, blue eyes, 6'2", 190 pounds. So I was like, I'm taking advantage
Congratulations, butthead.
Thank you. And
how long did you do it?
I did it from 24 to almost 40, so like 15 years.
So you had a good run.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, it's not a glamorous thing. It's a completely different industry for men than it is for women. For men, it's you bust your ass. Basically, you just spend. I always had regular jobs, and then you finish your regular job and you go to the gym for 2 hours a day, so you can go
and then you
stand
eat
in a line
nothing.
with 300 guys who are better looking than you and get. It's like you just become. It makes you really humble.
How many calories were you eating a day? Did you keep record of all that?
Lots. But I mean, I remember
Really?
when I met my wife, like I lived on my own. She looked in my fridge and I had eggs, tuna, and almonds.
Yeah, sounds
I was
about
like,
right.
That's what I eat, and I work out all day. It's not glamorous at all. But you get.
Did you do the
stuff. I
whole
did- I
egg
did-
or just the egg whites?
No, always the whole egg.
Okay, yeah.
no, that egg
I'm
whites is
never
bullshit.
doing egg whites only. The hell with that.
It's retarded. No, I eat 6 to 12 eggs a day, and I have since I was a child.
Why, you still do?
Yeah.
You would have gone broke doing that in this country, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. No, you can eat healthy for cheap, man. This is what pissed me off.
You
I see
can,
the people
yeah.
like, oh, I need my SNAP benefits. I'm like, you can go to any store and you can buy 36 eggs, a bag of rice, a bag of potatoes, a bag of apples, a bag of flour. You can eat well and just learn how to use a pot.
Especially
and
if
boil
you,
water. I hate
yeah,
that
if you own, like, let's say for me too, it's beverages. Like if you drink water and or coffee and or tea and that's it.
That's all I drink.
Yeah, like you can save a lot of money on, but beverage, beer, soda, whatever,
Well, yeah, okay.
like juice. I love
Sorry.
all
I
those
do
things.
I do drink alcohol.
Yeah, I just
spend
like,
a lot of
man.
money on, but I don't need to, and I could quit tomorrow.
I know. New Year's resolutions everywhere. Tortuga. Thanks for reminding us. Producer Tim, for Symes or anyone else who's curious, when you go to the Matt and Blonde archive on the website, I did try to archive them in order. For some reason, Rumble screwed up the order. Some of the vids you might find, or you might need to look around for certain episodes. Rumble, as always, it's sometimes it's a little wonky and quirky, but pretty much all the episodes should be there. When I say pretty much, some of them were removed from YouTube for YouTube reasons, and I don't know if those are recovered, but pretty much everything in the catalog is there. All 435 episodes, something like that. They're all there. Producer Tim says, in season 1 of Stranger Things, the kids looked like their biggest concern was choosing a juice box flavor. In season 5, it looks like their biggest concern is how to afford the 3 kids and a mortgage and avoiding icky girl germs, of course. They're all supposed to be like 18 or whatever. No, maybe a little older. I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those where you're really doing a lot of work to make these like 30-year-olds. No, this Noah kid I think is only 21 in fairness, but some of these kids,
like
it's
Steve,
like John
the guy's
Travolta
like
trying to
40.
make him look
Yeah.
like a high schooler. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and again, that's a really bad. They could have why don't you just make 10 years pass? If you're going to reset everything and make nothing count,
yeah,
make it a little bit more believable.
Taker,
you're going to suck bad. Come on, guys.
Wait, so we were robbed of Vecna pointing at Will and saying, "You are gay," in the final battle. Yeah, that's what was supposed to happen. He just points that weird, bony, veiny finger thing, and he just says, "You are gay," right in Will's face, and everyone laughs at him. And that would be.
I thought we were going to find out the weird vine thing was a Vecna penis.
Well, it was metaphorically, dude.
apparently,
Like
yeah, right.
when this final season started, they showed a flashback to Will's abduction, which was like computer generated or something, and it was like, yeah, he gets taken in and
literally mouth raped,
secured and mouth raped. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. And then the whole thing is a backstory for how he's gay, and somehow this is like a pro acceptance message or something. Life Sanders have read the ending of it. Have read the ending of It, capital I. I assume that means like the clown?
Stephen King.
Stephen King's thing, yeah. It's worse than Stranger Things. Now, I've not read the book. I'm familiar with the movie and the clown and his image. I've not seen the movie, though. So I don't know anything about the story other than it's like an evil clown.
Yeah, same. Nothing about it has ever inspired me to want to subject myself to it in any way.
I've seen enough Stephen King tweets to know I don't want to consume his product. But who am I to judge? I watch Netflix and the NFL. Yes, I have seen it. Yeah. And I liked it generally. I don't know if it's like the greatest movie ever, as all the reviews claim, but overall I liked it.
It was watchable.
Yeah, it was good. But Taker says, there's a clip of the show Law and Order where Ice-T is talking to a guy who says, I am not gay. I have relationships with men and women and sex with men. And Ice-T says, I got news for you. That means you're gay. I tell you what, though, I got that handy.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I have like all the gay pop culture.
How did you
references.
not know that Matt would have that clip?
I've got most of them. Hang on. Actually, I think I know of that one through Frank, because Frank plays that one frequently.
Wait, you didn't take advantage of it, Matt. I said I was a model.
Well, yeah.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Yeah, fair point. All right. Over on Rumble, I think we're all set. Yeah. Friendly Neighborhood Fed, we caught up with him. Appreciate you and the rest of the chatters on Rumble. Looks good on Odyssey. We are all set there as well. All right. Any final message for 2025, Mark, before we get out of here?
Love each other.
Okay.
Do good to your kids. Don't be gay.
I am a gay homosexual.
If you're going to be gay, get all of your friends and family, people you care about, people you just met, strangers, Stranger Things, put them all together. Get a TV crew, record it, tell the world you don't like girls.
I am a gay homosexual.
Just say
you do
like Will
girls.
did.
You do like girls, just not the way that they like girls.
Just not that way.
The other way. You
Well,
don't like them.
Yeah, wisdom you learned in 2025, how to come out properly in 1980s rural Indiana. But that'll do it. We will we'll call it there. Appreciate everybody who participated in the live show tonight. Thanks to our super chatters. Thanks to our live chatters. Appreciate all of you being here. If you're listening, what is that? Vecna's wiener?
It's a cat.
Oh, it's a cattail. If you're listening on demand later, thank you kindly as well for supporting the show. Big thanks to Mark Aaron for sitting in tonight. I would say follow him on X at Liberty M Aaron. It is linked in the description, but it's banned.
Follow me at Mark Aaron is back. I have 0 followers, so
Mark Aaron is back. I'll follow you after the show. I'll be your first. I shouldn't say it that way. That sounds.
Give me a retweet. Give me the hey, follow Mark, and then everybody who's still watching can do that.
Thanks to producer Tim for his assistance, as always. Find everything show-related at mattchristiansenmedia.com or mattis.gay if you prefer.
I am a gay homosexual.
I'll be back Sunday night in 2026. Until then, Happy New Year. Thanks for spending time here in 2025. Have a good night.